Merry Christmas and a happy holiday. Sad the New Year's on the way. Well, it's Christmas time on Guam. Christmas music on the radio. Oh, we cannot have a white Christmas, 'cause on Guam it doesn't snow. Christmas lights on everywhere. At night it looks very teary, but we might have to sell our gifts to pay GPA in January. We wish you Merry Christmas and happy holidays. Santa New Year's on the way. We wish you Merry Christmas and happy holidays, 'cause the New Year's on the way. So many of our loved ones have loved ones away from home. So if you are with someone you love, think of those that are alone. Think about the soldiers, miss friends and relatives. And remember, it's the thought that counts. And please don't count the gifts. We wish you Merry Christmas and a happy holiday, 'cause the New Year's on the way. We wish you Merry Christmas and a happy holiday, 'cause the New Year's on the way.
Sinya uli di sombranzelten meg, et zu ite saluda antes Dio hum niga Radzauzen malak estrezas durante in todo il memu a nogi distancia como kupugi palu zaniman malak guafi con una sugi airi preba tu la noci nai banderata gaigi pues atan fanni bandera kau esta pagua pumalalapa Giluk tanu man libri Sentamiti man ko badi
Tamoru purita nota kantai matu nanyagi todu ilugat para i honra para i gloria abiba is la sin para i honra para y gloria abiba is la sin parat todo y tiempo y paz para hita dan gini langit na bendition conchay piligu na fan sofuham Deus protegis languahon con chai peligro na fan sofuham Deus protegis languahon.
Always winning Christmas, Tamolinian. Good morning, Guam. What a beautiful morning.
Look at that sky.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Hi, Sabrina. Good morning.
Good morning.
Lady in red is sitting next to me.
Not cheek to cheek.
Nope.
6 feet away.
Yeah. Good morning, Jason Solis.
Okay, can I just ask?
Yes.
We
Okay.
went into great exhaustive detail yesterday about a certain segment you guys were gonna do where you
Yeah.
guys were. What do they call you guys? Like tributes? Is that what they say?
Well, we did this wet bar thing that you guys are gonna.
the wet lab.
The wet. Oh yeah, wet.
I can see if how like your memory and
Right,
your brain
yeah.
cells aren't functioning like fully this morning.
So basically, every year GPD, I think it's every year, they do this training where they get a bunch of. Good morning. They get a bunch of different volunteers to show up and drink alcohol,
and you
then,
guys got balatsu.
and then they go and they practice all the field sobriety stuff on us. So Bree was gracious enough to invite me to come along with her yesterday. Because the last time she did it, it was very legendary. Well, I don't want to say too much because I got in trouble yesterday.
Okay, so
No.
let's not bury the lead.
But
how
she, yeah,
how
no, no,
trashed
no, no,
were
no.
you guys?
Last time Bree did this by herself, she like set the record.
So you were drunk
Last time.
last time. Well,
Yeah.
okay, how about yesterday? though?
Yesterday, no.
Okay, wait. Before we get to that,
I was good.
She was definitely.
What did they have you guys consume? What types of alcohol?
You had to choose, right? They had
pick
these
your
different,
poison.
different options, and then you had to stick with that particular drink.
So the
What,
thing.
what
the
were
thing
the,
was-
wait, what were the options? Was it like wine, hard liquor, beer?
no,
There
well,
was beer, vodka, tequila, and then Jack Daniels.
yeah,
Woo!
yeah.
So you had to pick any of those, and then you stick it one. But what was different this year is normally it's put on by just GPD
Or kind of GPD leads the training, and then they bring in their off-island trainers.
right. But this time it was kind of the other way around, is where the off-island trainers were actually the ones who were
Well,
facilitating.
no, the off-island trainers do facilitate it, but I think this one was different because it was.
It was just
highway-
different.
yeah.
Yeah. It was like they were playing by the rules.
Well, you guys don't seem
No,
hungover.
I think it's just different. I think it's different because each jurisdiction probably has a different way that they train
Yeah,
and
so
run
we
their
kept
programs.
teasing because they were from California. They're from their California Highway Patrol officers.
They're
Chips.
chips.
Yeah. But we kept making the joke that, they're from California. There's so many regulations in California. Because the first time Bree did it, she was saying like, they were just pouring whatever. And she's just like, whatever. So when we did the interview with one of the officers from CHP, I described the wet lab. I was like, we're just going to get as messed up as we can. And then they're going to be like walking a straight line. He was like, that's not what it is at all. It's controlled, measured. It was a little too controlled and too measured for some of the participants, but it was a good time. Good time.
Now, neither of you seemed like you're in any way hungover this
Nah,
morning.
come on. I had 5 Jack Cokes.
Good Lord.
Well, no, okay. I had 1 Jack Coke, and then I had the rest was tonic water with Jack. Yeah, and I was
think
okay.
I
That's
I
not
think I had
exactly
4.
lightweight drinking.
Yeah, it's not.
I'm surprised you had 5. Me and you were pretty much on par.
No, you
Yes.
were sandbagging.
I was not.
Yeah, I had 5. And then I think at the end though, my BAC was 0.04. So by the end we did all the sobriety tests and stuff. I
Yeah.
was legally sober.
Yeah, because 0.06 is the
0.08, Jay.
is the threshold.
Yeah,
0.08.
0.08,
Okay.
yeah.
What was yours?
Somebody here was
I
a
don't
little over
remember.
0.08. I
Do you-
remember.
do you
Yeah,
remember-
I remember it. Jay Bree was like 0.1. Yeah, she was
like that.
0.10.
remember
So she
calling
was
me?
drunk. Sabrina was legally
Yeah.
drunk yesterday.
And the funny thing is,
And you were yelling at
that
me yesterday.
I was not.
Yeah, you was.
Yeah, you were.
I could actually still. I mean, what's his name, Chris? What was the guy that was in charge that we interviewed? Anyway, he was
officer
like
man.
in front of the class. He's like, they read off my BAC.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Oh, let me just add that she said that she still feels okay, that
Yeah.
she would drive." We're like,
Yeah, how'd you do on the test though? because we kind of broke up for that part.
What
Yeah.
you mean? The test, like
There's a
put
bunch
your
of
fingers
different
on your
tests.
toes
Yeah.
and walk
You
along
had
the line.
to hold your one of your feet up, and then look at your toe and count.
Yeah.
And then there's one where you have
See, that
to
one, Bria, I thought
look
it was
at the pen and then follow.
Yeah,
the
so that's
pen.
called the horizontal gaze something. So this is the one that they get everyone on. Well, they get because when you drink alcohol, I guess it robs you of your ability to multitask. That's what they said, and they know the science. So when they ask you to do things like put your feet together, put your hands on your side, and follow this thing, you're like, and then when you're following that finger, and you've consumed alcohol or you're on something, your eyes will just do this thing where they like lag behind and they jump.
Or your head will move.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to move your head.
So-
you're supposed to like follow.
We knew that going in, and I was like, okay, I'm really going to try and beat this thing because it's a training,
But
But
5 Jack and Cokes. And
I didn't. They were
and
like, oh, yeah,
4
see, look his eyes. But then towards the end, there were some of the recruits who were saying like, yeah, bro, it seems like you're pretty sober. I was like, oh yeah, that's nothing, bro. 5. So it was a good training. Shout out to all the young. They had a lot of young guns, man, and there was even some DOC. I saw some DOC officers there too.
Okay, the thing that everybody wants to know, and by everybody I mean me and Joseph, right?
Yeah.
You guys actually had a pretty hearty lunch yesterday.
Yeah,
Heading into that, you guys had a big lunch, which
I
I
had a
think.
sandwich.
yeah, we had Kings.
Yeah.
Okay, good food over there. Good good comfort food. Did you guys, given the fact that you consumed that much alcohol, did you guys, as they say, feed the fish?
You mean did we throw up?
Did you spew? Did
No.
you Ralph?
No, I heard Bree did last time though.
Because when you guys sent me a picture, Bree looked kind of like, and like her eyes were, and there was I don't know if you guys remember
Mr.
this.
Embellishment.
Yeah.
You know, you guys
I was there.
She WhatsApped a picture to me, and then Chris was in the back looking like, hey, chill, right? Malfunction. Bree was kind of there, her eyes were kind of doo-doo-doo. And there was a waste basket next to her. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's not a good
Yeah.
sign.
Yeah, because that's what I mean. Last time she threw up, so this time the GPD officers were like, "Oh, here's Sabrina," and they went and they put the trash can next to her. She doesn't want any of you guys to know this thing. Sorry.
No, it's all right.
It's all right.
cool.
Yeah, it's all
It's all
right.
on
Payback's
video, yeah.
payback's coming.
But
I was-
we did it for
The people.
the people, law enforcement. Hopefully, they got trained up and everything and know how to detect people, like Chris. Who
Yeah,
to
like
drink.
Sabrina. Yep, I told her that.
So
I
did
was
you guys
legally
say,
sober.
Did you guys say
But
the line?
okay, I would have gone to jail because I messed up that one, and then there's one where you put your leg up, and I thought because I've been working out, I was like, oh, this one, I got this one, bro. But they tell you to put your leg up, and then they're like, look down at your foot and count 1001, 1002, and I was like, okay, yeah, and I got up to like 1012, and I was like, shit, owning this, and then I started to wobble. Yeah, so
So you guys were considered tributes, right?
I don't know.
Did you guys say the line from Hunger Games?
No, but Chris
Did you
was
like jump up? I volunteer as a tribute.
Another!
Yeah, we actually.
Another!
Yeah, we were in the thirsty games. It wasn't Hunger Games. So that segment's coming your way tomorrow.
So you guys didn't just participate. You guys like went there to like.
We
kinda
didn't just
show up.
participate. We represented KUAM to the fullest.
Now I know Bree can drink, or at least she could in her earlier years. This girl could hold her alcohol. Pretty much legendary at KUAM until we hired Adriana Cotero,
Oh my
who
God.
grew up in a
Shade,
hoosehold
you're throwing shade.
where her
Oh my
no
gosh.
no
Not throwing
all-
shade. He's just factually
Yeah, no,
reciting
I have
information.
ultimate respect
Really?
because she always said, she goes, guys, my family, we've owned a sports bar and grill my entire life, so I basically grew up around the
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I have actually never. I've seen you, Chris, from time to time, like have a beer, but
Okay,
I've never
like-
actually seen you
Yeah, so I don't
tie
really
a few on.
I don't really drink because I used to have a problem with drinking. And so I don't but I've drank like 3 times in the last I want to say 3 years. And it's been okay.
And I think I've only seen Joe Sir have maybe half a beer that he nursed over a course of like 3
Joe
hours.
Sir is one of those guys who has
After the
like
election.
one beer, it's like over, right, sir? Yep, yep. There's those people. I wish I was like that, so I could just have a little sip and be like, yeah, just like that. But you ever hear those people be like, oh, one sip of one beer and I am like gone. Like, wow, you're economic.
That's my mom.
Oh, that's your mom.
Okay, wait.
That's not you.
Sorry, before we get into news, we got a ton of stuff to do.
We're opposites.
Yeah.
Okay, one, Bree is the only person wearing anything remotely close to like Christmas
Christmas?
decorations,
Yeah.
and that's on her mask. We need to like Christmas this place up.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna bring an eggnog. We're gonna have like eggnog, the 4 of us.
Oh, I don't do eggnog.
You don't. Eggnog is the best. What is wrong with you?
Okay, well, have yourself
Pretty
some
thick, yeah.
jolly
Knock
time with
yourself
that.
out, bro. Yeah.
And I mean, if you want to add a little something to it, I mean, I'm just buying, the regular. Joe Sir and I are gonna take the.
I want to welcome you guys though to the. It's 6:31 here on the Jason Solis Show. I just got to say. Woo, one of the participants yesterday at the wet lab was one of Jason's friends, and it was so funny. It was actually really cute because we were talking, and Sabrina and I were talking, and then she was sitting right over there, and then all of a sudden she was like, "Hey, you're on the radio, right?" And I was like, "Oh yeah," I was like, "Yeah, I'm on the radio." She's like, "Yeah, you're the one on Jason's show, right?" And I was like, "Bree, am I the one on Jason's show?" And she was like, "Yeah, he's on Jason's show." So we got your back, bro. I was like, "Yeah, Jason's so gracious to let us on his show, man. He's the man. Let me tell you what, hey, a real great stand-up guy." That's all.
So is that why Bree messaged me at like 4:03 this morning? Hey, do news.
Yeah, she's like, your show. Yeah. All right, Jay.
Does that mean I gotta buy the empanadas like through Easter?
Hey, that's what it sounds like.
Oh boy.
It's 6:32, Thursday, December 2nd, 2021. Pacific Points, Cabo Enterprises, IT&E at Jack in the Box. Proud to present this episode of the Jason Solis. It's the link. It's 6:32.
It's the Jason at Joe Sir show in the morning. Joe Sir.
That's it. Woo, boy. You ready? First look at news.
Yeah, I'm going to start off before we get to Jason.
On this Thursday, Sabrina Salas-Mantonati with breaking news this morning. Sabrina, good morning.
Yeah, we do have a bit of breaking news. The Guam Police Department has launched a death investigation after units responded to a report of a man lying on the ground, unconscious and unresponsive. Officers from the Dededo Precinct responded to the incident in Jigo early this morning across the Jigo Fire Station near Premier Apartments. Highway Patrol was activated. It's not clear at this time whether the incident was an auto pedestrian incident or hit and run, but we do know that they have launched a death investigation. Residents, motorists traveling in the area can expect some delays. I know when I was on my way to work, the southbound lane, the outer southbound lane was, both southbound lanes were closed. So you can expect some delays if you are traveling and on your way to work this morning. Also, an off-duty officer with the Guam Police Department that was involved in a crash near Polaris Point in Petey on the 14th. He was placed on administrative leave during the investigation and has now been arrested. As a result of the Highway Patrol Division doing their follow-up investigation, 24-year-old Jose Valenzuela Uggan of Chalanpago was arrested for unsafe lane change, speeding in a posted zone, reckless driving, reckless driving with injuries, reckless driving while impaired with bodily injuries, driving while impaired with a blood alcohol content level of 0.08 or more, and no seatbelt. He was booked and confined at the Department of Corrections. Also, there was another incident, another arrest, and let me just pull it up. On November 3rd at around 2:30 in the afternoon, patrol officers from Central Precinct Command responded to the Agania Shopping Center for a criminal mischief complaint. Yesterday, GPD's Criminal Investigation Section detectives, with the assistance of GFD's Fire Investigation Section, arrested 52-year-old Fred Agagi Uggan Jr. of Chalanpago for criminal mischief, arson, and terroristic conduct. Uggan Jr. was booked and released, and again, the case has been forwarded to the Office of the Attorney General. Jace?
All right, thanks, Bree. And we will have, of course, more on this developing story about the apparent traffic situation over in Jigo as the morning progresses. Make sure to check out KUAM.com for that. And as we start this morning, we at the link ask that you send your prayers as our island has suffered 3 more COVID-related fatalities. The 264th death since the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic was a 68-year-old female who was unvaccinated. The 265th COVID-19 related fatality was a 36-year-old man, also unvaccinated, with underlying health conditions. And the 266th COVID-related death was a woman, 54 years old, who was unvaccinated and had underlying health conditions as well. As of last night, 13 people were in the hospital for COVID-19, 6 of whom are unvaccinated. The island's CAR score continued to drop. Yesterday was 0.7, today is 0.6. 0.6. We shared on Facebook not too long ago that a release from Acting Governor Josh Tenorio says that effective on December 6th, Guam will be removed from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's COVID-19 travel recommendations by destination. We will be considered, therefore, domestic travel. The LT says, quote, not only is Guam where America's day begins, but we have continually been a leader in this pandemic response, instituting mandatory travel quarantine, mask mandates, and proof of vaccination requirements earlier than others. We believe this change also recognizes the tremendous progress we have made in recent weeks combating the third surge of COVID-19. Now, again, if you have a little fuzzy on what this means, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control, again, the CDC, will remove Guam's status for travel recommendation by destination, and therefore we will be considered U.S. domestic travel. That is a good thing for our island community. Let's go back to the newsroom now, where our own Tyler Matanani is standing by, and she has your morning link up.
This news update is brought to you by Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
Buenos and half a day, everyone. I'm Tyler Matanani with your headlines here on The Link. Koam and the CNMI figure prominently in a major new internal policy document by the Defense Department on the alignment of its global assets. The review will be used to guide national defense strategy going forward, and the findings and recommendations have been approved by President Biden. Nestor Lecanto reports.
The Defense Department held a media briefing on the Global Posture Review that was compiled in consultation with major allies. Acting DoD Deputy Undersecretary for Policy, Dr. Mara Carlin, did not provide detailed information. She cited security reasons and to protect the confidentiality of consultations. But it's clear our region tops the list.
Consistent with the Secretary's focus on China as our pacing challenge, the priority region for the Global Posture Review was the Indo-Pacific. The Global Posture Review directs additional cooperation with allies and partners across the region to advance initiatives that contribute to regional stability and deter potential military aggression from China and threats from North Korea.
She said this includes seeking greater regional access and enhancements for military activities in the Western Pacific.
Actually, more broadly across the Indo-Pacific, you'll see a range of infrastructure improvements in Guam, the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, and Australia. Those will include things more broadly like logistics facilities, fuel storage, munition storage, airfield upgrades. So we're doing a lot that will hopefully come to fruition in the coming years.
Dr. Carlin was pressed by reporters on why Guam and Australia were specifically mentioned, and if they were being singled out as the biggest issues to come out of the global review.
Look, I think those were notable, which is why I cited those specifically. But I would, of course, highlight that we're engaged in consultations with our allies and partners across the Indo-Pacific. And while those were just examples of some posture shifts, you are no doubt tracking that we're also enhancing the scope and the scale of our exercises with allies and partners across the region as well.
In sum, she said the review will inform the U.S. approach to the national defense strategy going forward and will determine the Defense Department's ultimate overseas footprint.
The results of the Global Posture Review will serve as a disciplining framework for the department to match our posture to our strategy, with benefits accruing for years to come.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
7 individuals in the CNMI are now hospitalized for COVID-19. NMI leaders are looking into plans to establish a quarantine site on Tinian and Rhoda. Tomas Manglonia reports.
There is discussion with the delegation of Tinian currently that we're trying to determine what is the next step in case cases increase, and that's the possibility of having a quarantine site specifically for Tinian, and also consideration to look into is also, a quarantine site for Rhoda.
The CNMI is in its harshest surge yet. Officials urge the community to get vaccinated and self-quarantine if they get tested.
We're working with the federal government to expedite our supply of vaccines.
There are now 7 hospitalizations due to COVID-19, 6 of whom are unvaccinated.
We are seeing our emergency rooms slammed with individuals, coming in with symptoms. And it is overwhelming for us, again, with the surge of the COVID-19.
She says they are looking to expand the capacity of rooms in the hospital The alternate care site holds about 30 beds. They are working on getting treatment to healthcare workers on Rota and Tinian.
Exhausting, disheartening to see more and more patients, especially if they're, having to be able to get severe illnesses because of their status of their vaccination. And so, we all have a responsibility. And again, it's a lot of this is really about behaviors. We want people to understand that first of all, the vaccine is safe and effective.
The COVID-19 task force is expected to release new community guidelines soon. Tomas Manglotnya for KOAM News, Northern Mariana Islands.
In 2020, there were over 1,000 victims of sexual assault and family violence reported, according to Guam Police Department's Domestic Assault Response Team. Some believe an EQ education program could be the cure to decreasing these numbers. KUM's Hannah Devonzo has this report.
In efforts to decrease the numbers of violence in Micronesia, the Pacific Judicial Council is collaborating with legislative and executive branches of government to create an EQ education program. Dr. Neil Nedley has been commissioned to develop it.
There's a pilot program that's going to be used within the next year at multiple grade levels. And then after that pilot program and we get all the feedback from that, it should be available the year after that. So it's getting close.
Not only will the EQ program be established in schools, but also will be available for the community.
We also will have community-based programs available for adults, and the non-school aspect of things, that's normally an 8-week program, a 6 to 8 week program, just once a week for 8 weeks. Where it takes only 2 hours a day of their time to improve. And then, of course, for the more severe cases, there is residential possibilities as well.
According to Dr. Neal's findings, culture does play a role in a person's EQ.
Our goal is to bring up the emotional intelligence of Micronesia, and that will help all of the ships, so to speak. And so it'll help families, it'll help our school system, it'll help our medical institutions, it'll help our judicial system, and it'll help us make better decisions overall. So we're hoping that as we enhance the emotional intelligence, we'll have better family life.
Some daily practices known to increase an individual's EQ is getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep, getting aerobic exercise every day, being exposed to sunlight in the morning, and eating more antioxidants. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Hannah Devonzo.
That's it for now. We'll see you tonight for KUM News Primetime.
This news update is brought to you by Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
All right, everybody. Of course, the story on everybody's mind and many people talking about in our comment stream this morning is the Omicron variant of coronavirus. And health officials around the world are concerned about the new variant because it has a never-before-seen number of spike proteins, which that virus uses to enter cells in the human body. Labs throughout the country are testing to see where Omicron will pop up first. Here's more.
Health officials around the world are concerned about the new variant Omicron because it has a never-before-seen number of spike proteins, which the virus uses to enter cells in the human body. There are labs around the U.S. that are testing to see where Omicron is going to pop up first.
We're sequencing the COVID genome of thousands of positive COVID samples.
We went to the Pandemic Response Lab just outside New York City to meet John Laurent. He is head of research and development here. The U.S. is sequencing 80,000 positive PCR tests every week to look for variants. That way, they can determine how fast the variants are spreading and how infectious they are. About 2,000 of those sequences occur right here.
Our turnaround time here, once we get a sample in, is about 3 days.
That may seem like a long time, but these scientists insist it is as fast as they can go. The samples are pooled together, sequenced, and analyzed to search for Omicron and other variants. Right now, the Delta variant makes up more than 99% of cases worldwide.
How long did it take for Delta to become the majority of all COVID positive patients in New York City?
Thinking back on that, I think it was probably 6 to 8 weeks from the time we first sort of saw it, and then really saw it take off, and it took off very quickly.
That's pretty fast.
Yes, it was very fast.
So is it your guess that once you detect Omicron, within, let's say, a month and a half to 2 months, it could be the majority of everything?
It could definitely be.
Scientists say over the next week or two, they're going to learn a lot more about how this new variant will impact the pandemic. David Begnaud, CBS News, New York.
Back here on Guam, the Guam Department of Education held a press conference yesterday afternoon in which they provided a progress report on students returning to all 41 island public campuses for full-time face-to-face learning. The school district did address questions and concerns from the island's media partners, including our Isaiah Ugg.
It's day 3 of the return of 5 days of in-person instruction for all Guam Department of Education students enrolled in the face-to-face module of learning after students have been attending classes in scheduled cohorts since September. So far, the island's largest public school system has been faced with challenges. Those mishaps include the wet weather and bus driver shortages. GDOE Superintendent John Fernandez says the education system is working to address those issues.
We did notice because of the weather, of course, a lot of traffic at certain schools, delays in drop-offs, and kids just trying to get to school and stay dry. So, with all the COVID-19 protocols in place, obviously that becomes a bit more of a challenge to get kids onto campus quickly, and also to provide for physical distancing at the same time that everybody's trying to avoid the rain. So schools have been challenged to address that situation. We work hand in hand to try to make sure we take care of our kids, get them to school as timely as possible, but also as safely, do so safely. So that's been our work with Public Works.
There have also been videos and photos spreading widely on social media, as well as WhatsApp chat groups of students not properly socially distancing.
That's not a surprise. We've always known that would be a challenge. However, we believe that our kids are still there at school and are being protected by the several layers of safety mitigation efforts that are in place, including face masks, including the hand washing, hand sanitizing, and other protocols that have been in place since we've been dealing with COVID-19. We are in line with CDC guidance, and what CDC guidance says is that in the event you are not able to comply with the 3-foot distancing in the classroom settings or the 6 feet outdoors, make sure that the other layers of safety mitigation are in place.
As for the requirement of testing 10% of the student population, GDOE Deputy Superintendent of Operations Erica Cruz says it's not ready for implementation, but it's still in place. She provided a status report.
Our second phase at this point is to work with public health as well as the legal counsel to address the testing of 10% of our student population as well as our employee population.
Despite the challenges the department is faced, there are also some good reports coming out from employees and students.
We have had some, several anecdotal, reports from students and teachers about being glad to be back in school, trying to get back into a normal routine. So even if there are concerns, and we know this is an adjustment, a major adjustment for our schools to have to come quickly back into full operation, we do know that there are going to be members of our community and our student bodies who are happy to see their friends.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, Guahusi Isaiah Uggan.
Much Isaiah. In other news, the National Governors Association is holding a summit on the $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill. Guam Governor Lulian Guerrero took part in a panel discussion yesterday as the summit kicked off, held by a group of governors on the priorities for revitalizing infrastructure in their respective jurisdictions.
State leaders are gathered to share ideas about rebuilding highways, revitalizing power and water systems, and improving broadband access and cybersecurity. Governor Leon Guerrero joined fellow governors from Maryland, Louisiana, and Pennsylvania in a panel discussion.
I have rolled out a investment parahamzu, is what we call it, and it's a rollout of investment plan using ARP, CARES Act, and also targeting on the infrastructure improvements.
Her priorities were based on economic recovery, climate resiliency, and on her signature project, a medical health care complex.
which during this pandemic has shown us that really our hospital was very fragile, and we don't have the luxury of going to another state. We are way out in the Pacific Ocean between Asia and the United States. And so we saw that a very good state-of-the-art medical complex will really put that investment back into the hands of our people.
She joined colleagues in praising the National Governors Association for its bipartisan support for the landmark infrastructure legislation.
President Biden did say that it's the state governors that's going to make this happen.
That's right.
And so I think that's a strength that we should all leverage, and I think NGA does a really good job in uniting all of us and going forward, not just to the White House, but to Congress.
And she also lauded their support for one of the key features of the federal assistance programs, one that's been heavily debated in Guam as well.
NGA for me has been a very strong driver and influence. Look how we were discussing about the ARP, and one of the things that we wanted is for the governors to have discretionary power over the ARP, and that happened, right? We were given, and I'll tell you, my senators in Guam are very upset because they cannot appropriate the $596 million that was given to us.
The NGA Summit continues tomorrow with more presentations on ideas for rolling out infrastructure programs. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lacanto.
All right, thanks so much, Nestor. And in island business news, while others around the world may be enjoying their time in the snow, we're able to indulge in delicious shaved ice. For this week's Inside Business Report, Tyler joins us once again as she caught up with a local shop that brought several smiles to the community on Black Friday.
The sweet success of Hafaloa has been rooted in faith and family. Months ago, they closed their brick-and-mortar location, disagreeing with the mandate for COVID vaccinations. But now Hafaloa held their grand reopening just in time for the holiday season.
We put our trust and our faith in the Lord, and if He's for us and with us, then no one can be. We don't have to fear anything that is against us or comes against us because He's got our backs.
Hafaloa is known for their bold flavors, colorful apparel, and island spirit. They've welcomed all walks of life through their doors since 2013. So when the governor issued her executive order in August mandating COVID vaccines for customers dining in, owners Tara and Leonard Kaai decided to temporarily close their doors and only sell apparel through their website.
We're firm believers in everyone should be treated equal, and we shouldn't segregate a certain group of our customers because they choose to be unvaccinated. It's their choice. We're definitely not anti-vax. Our children are vaccinated.
The mini break also allowed them to develop new business strategies and come up with new ways to share the Hafaloa spirit abroad while putting their twist on a local favorite treat.
While we were closed down, Tara was able to develop our ice keiki. So with that, we were able to ship our flavors worldwide and get our flavors out to, majority of the United States and some of Asia.
Thankfully, they survived the shutdown and finally reopened their doors on Black Friday. They've also removed their dine-in option because if the unvaccinated can't eat inside, then no one can.
Everybody's welcome. Check your temperature, wear your mask. Get your favorite treats and enjoy it outside. Unfortunately,
we definitely don't want to go against authority, but we want to be able to, see how we can still keep our business open and our employees gainfully employed.
With Inside Business, I'm Tyler Matsinani.
And as always, here's Uncle King Conception with the day's headlines in our native language. Here's Chamorro News Updates, sponsored by the fine folks at First Hand.
Buenos updates to get some to be sa morgen ni KUAM News. Presenta ni Familian Mizo gi First Hawaiian Bank. Gagahan ng monoclonal antibody para MAB990 para DCAU minisisita. Esta 988 man matrata no este na amod. Kinantes 93 aman matrata gi infusion center gi sa Mangilaw. Sigon si Dr. Luis Cruz, gini National Guard, amod sa ribabay numero man may spatatat put COVID, san maulig jan seguridad, jagef efektibo. Imazot na man matrata sa ma-report na san maulig sa nintiniya gi sa gantidia, dataza niya di side effect. Mas rumamaulig jan Libianos Division niya, da siya pagong marekonosi sa ludi tao-tao siya, pero maatay DOA. Masikro sa sangan na sa 180 na amot MAB, soblagi isla. At sa teman malago maamti na makonsideran tatkalo na riskaw siya na taw-tawgi sa sesumon maagang, kasi 5 kadadiha man matratrata. Masasunto, maaresta niyo polisiya gini Port si Gregory San Agustin, 28 anos na edad, sa pagmansustete ni Boneno. Masusedi esti anti di las 8 gigan matis, ano oficial polisia rekonono si lugar siya gifyon ni Port Beach. Karipare opisyal kareta, jan taw-taw siya gisan halom, ano rekonosi kareta, manada kristal na tubo, nugay rastron Boneno, jan plastic na bagyan sa ganini si crystal methamphetamine. Mabog si San Agustin sa maazaki, por mangangat ga Boneno, pas masurta. Ito muna sunto gifinut sa morgan ni KUAM News para pago na Merkules, yung residente ni Isla siya ni mamanispipet sa niya sa DBU fan listo dyan ni Zonyad Digital na resume para di siya mamanispipet empleyado na business siya. I-career development na opisina gini Universidad Guahan sa makumbibida siya estudyante ni UOG dyan ni komunidad para online internship and job fair no mamemento. Imanitirisaw sa sinamanali sa mangwentas ng taw-taw American Job Center, Bank Pacific, DZSP 21, GTA sa notusihan na business. I-online employer recruitment sa maschedule para i-webis desde las 10 kiegan hasta las 2 kitaloani. Debilo ko imanitirisaw doon na listo siya para may entrevista in Sigida Squihi. Para mas informasyon, agang isay 71-735-2233 but email career.development@triton.uog.edu. Para Guam News Network, Guausikin Conception. Yasuto ifinut sa moro sa presenta sa ninafatto ni Familia Mizo gi First Hawaiian Bank.
Say hello to the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app. Got a question about your finances? You've come to the right place. Bring all your accounts together, even those that aren't with us, and see the big picture, right down to the smallest detail. Unlock powerful tools like Insights and Money Map that help you save time and take control of your finances. When you connect accounts with the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app, it all starts with yes.
The relationship between Guam and Manila, Philippines is undeniable as we share similar cultural traditions, history, and heritage. With generations of Filipinos calling Guam home, KUAM presents a monthly look at the capital city, featuring in-depth and engaging interviews on everything from medical tourism to new business and government leaders. Veteran newscaster Nestor Lecanto delivers Beyond Our Borders. This special program is brought to you by KFC. GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
Do you feel like you're missing out on something? Make life more rewarding with Pacific Points. Earn and redeem points for bill rebates and free load at IT&E, discounts on fuel at Shell, vouchers at Foodies, and United Mileage Plus miles. You can even pay with Pacific Points at IT&E, Shell, and Foodies. Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape Superstore. Stop on by and visit our showroom today. We offer everyday low prices on all major outdoor power equipment like bush cutters, chainsaw, power washer, generators, and more. Need service, repair, maintenance? Well, check out Guam's best superstore only at Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape, located in Barragata along Army Drive between Submarina and Besta Market. Call 735-7446 for more information. Now shipping to surrounding islands. Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape Superstore.
Get the job done the right way by getting the right stuff at East West Rental Center. With years of experience helping builders, we definitely got what you need. Call 646-1463 or visit us in Upper Tumon. Open Monday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Sundays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
It's time to save on shipping. Support our local entrepreneurs. Find the best steals, deals, and unique products for your holiday shopping needs. The Christmas Pops virtual holiday marketplace is your hub for the best local gifts. Watch the Christmas Pops special airing through December 11th and streaming now across the stations and platforms of KUAM Communications. Visit KUAMChristmasPops.com and be on the lookout for local business profiles on our social media pages. Shop small and support local this holiday season.
Presented by UOG School of Business and Public Administration, JA Guam, inspiring youth, and the Guam Visitors Bureau, making Guam a better place to live, work, and visit. We all know that a healthy lifestyle is important to prevent chronic diseases and long-term illnesses and boost mental health. It's difficult to determine exactly which healthy habits are worth investing in to live longer and healthier lives. But FHP is here to help. Tune into the link every Tuesday for FHP Hafa Health Tips, brought to you by Take Care. Helpful advice about healthy lifestyle choices that will have a big difference in your health from the medical experts at FHP Clinic. FHP Hafa Health Tips on the link every Tuesday is brought to you by Take Care.
Uno Mixed. We're mixing it up on the last Thursday of every month with a look at lifestyle, entertainment, food, and so much more on the stations, networks, and digital platforms of KUAM Communications. Uno Mixed is presented to you by Docomo Pacific, Better Together, and Pepsi. That's what I like.
Catch Sports Link on the KUAM News Morning Show, The Link, every Friday for the latest sports news, game schedules, athlete profiles, and more. Sports Link airs every Friday across the multi-platforms of KUAM. Tune in to the broadcast on Breeze 93.9 FM, on KUAM TV 11, live stream through the KUAM News Facebook page, or view highlights on YouTube, KUAM News Facebook, and Instagram page. Sports Link is brought to you by Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape.
Get ready to run or ride to 22 with the Miles Challenge. Join the challenge from now till January 31st to rack up those miles on foot or by cycling. Runners can choose from 100, 200, and 300 miles. Cyclists 300, 600, and 900 miles. Go to mileschallenge.com to select your challenge and register today. The Run and Ride to 22 Challenge is brought to you by Uproar, Trench Challenge, Kill Cliff, and KUAM Communications. Donation proceeds to benefit the EMC Cancer Foundation. Guam is good.
Let's get merry during the most wonderful time of the year by making spirits bright. KUAM Communications and Coast 360 want to highlight your decorations and lights by flooding the social media pages of KUAM with your videos and photos. Finish your holiday setup, snap a few shots or video of your delightful display, and send it to us through social media or email them to promotions@KUAM.com. Check out our posts every Friday or tune in to KUAM News Weekend Edition for a special montage of the submissions certain to be making spirits bright with every broadcast. Warmest holiday wishes from KUAM Communications and Coast 360 Federal Credit Union. Together, we thrive.
Pacific Matters is a half-hour news, culture, and lifestyle show focused on issues that impact Guam, the Northern Mariana Islands, and the larger Pacific region. Join Tomas Maglonia every Monday to discuss politics, trends, and take a deep dive into the issues changing our island home, because what happens in the Pacific matters. The Culture Club returns to KUAM Digital and KUAM News Weekend Edition, highlighting Guam's young artists, activists, and crafters as they work to protect, preserve, and promote our Tamoto culture. Watch this weekly feature on the digital platforms of KUAM News Weekend Edition, brought to you by Hanum, the freshest bottled water made in Guam.
KUAM's multi-platform morning show, The Link, just got a little more delicious with Feed Me Fridays. Chris, Sabrina, Jason, and the rest of the morning crew will take some time off each Friday to talk, taste, and tempt you with all the latest and greatest food and drinks on Guam. Old faves, new hits, and everything else we can put in our bellies. It's Feed Me Fridays on The Link, brought to you by King's Restaurants, Ruby Tuesday Guam, and Devondale. Real milk from free grazing cows. This season, KUAM Communications is ready to go with more games, more championships, and more sports specials guaranteed to bring out the fan in you. Don't miss a minute of gameplay from NBC on KUAM TV 8 or from CBS on KUAM TV 11. We're bringing you all the action and excitement brought to you locally by Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape and Dokumu Pacific.
Take in the panoramic beauty of our island each Sunday on the KUM News Instagram with Scenic Sundays. Scroll through the natural beauty of the island on display. Scenic Sundays on the KUM News Instagram is brought to you by Addis Trust and Investment, Location, Service, Trust, and Haagen-Dazs Shops Guam, where every day is made extraordinary.
The KUAM Podcast Network is back and on demand, featuring a great variety of podcasts from our island and region, including culture, lifestyle, awareness, crime, politics, commentary, comedy, and entertainment. Available on most streaming platforms. The KUAM Podcast Network. Subscribe and listen now.
We know you're tired of hearing about COVID-19. Some of you are probably wondering whether this is ever going to end. However long it takes, we all have to do our part, including our children, to hold the line. You can protect yourself and your family by getting vaccinated.
And if you're already vaccinated, don't let your guard down, because you can still give and get COVID-19. And if you're not vaccinated, remember that if you catch the virus, you could suffer more severe complications. At the end of the day, it's the choices we make to protect ourselves, our families, and our community that will control the spread.
We know it sounds repetitive at this point, but again, wash your hands, watch your distance, and wear your mask.
Together, we have to hold the line. KUAM Communications continues our perpetuation of our Chamorro culture, language, and heritage, with features available to our listening and viewing audience, including streaming of Chamorro music 24 hours per day on Isla Digital Radio on KUAM.com and the KUAM News app. Chamorro News Update, weekdays on The Link and the KUAM News YouTube channel. Conversations about life in our Chamorro language podcast, Cuentos Tapoco, with Kin Conception. Seasonal specials, shows, and other features highlighting the beauty of our language, culture, and history. It's a new era of our continued commitment to our Chamorro heritage. Isla, watch, listen, stream. Viva Isla!
The fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells.
Hey, good morning. Joe Koam, one of the many awesome Christmas music selections we have here on your local Christmas music leader, The Breeze. Good morning. Welcome to the Jason Solis Show. 709. Inside joke had to be there. Miss the link, miss a lot. Don't miss it.
Listenership went way down.
It went way up, bro. You kidding? I'm telling you, bro. The ladies love you. Own it. It's
I think the initials LL Cool J are already taken.
ladies love Cool Jason. 708. Let's go to the phones, though. We got a Link fam on the line here. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
So I wanted to put you on. You had a message for the audience, right?
Yes.
Go for it.
Yeah. I live in Jigo, so right across the fire station from Jigo, the opposite side of the road. Yeah, there was a fatality this morning.
Yeah, we reported on that when we opened the show. But you know what? My kids just video called me, and because they stay right across there, they were asking me, "Hey, Dad, what's up with this dead body on the road? What do you know about it?" So yeah, developments, details are still coming out from Guam Police Department. But what did we get from them, Jay?
Well, they just said that that a man's body was actually discovered in the road. Obviously, very, very disturbing. GPD obviously was on site, and Sabrina, who lives near Mariana's Terrace, she was saying that both southbound lanes at the time were shut down. They're looking into it right now to try and figure out exactly what may have obviously led to the man being in that position.
Yeah.
But there has been a death investigation launched. There is no word yet if it may have been a auto pedestrian incident. But you know, we're on the phones right now trying to get with our friends at GPD and find out what happened.
Yeah, that's I mean, along that main road there, sir. I don't know if you stay around there, but there's always a lot of activity with like drunk people walking the road.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, I see it all the time.
All the time, man. I mean, all hours of the night, whether it's in the morning, I mean, or 3 in the morning, or daylight hours. I don't know who do you complain to about that kind of thing? Is it the mayor, the Guam Police Department? But it's definitely.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
I don't know, but the overgrown vegetation is coming up to the sidewalk.
Yeah.
So you can't really walk there, unless you're part of the road. You're walking the road.
Right. A lot of issues, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of issues here. So I don't know.
Yeah, but your main message this morning is just to tell people to adai talent and just drive
Yes,
carefully. Right?
please slow down. It's the holidays, and it's sorry this happened, but yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. So what are your plans for Christmas, sir?
Well, just my 2 kids, my wife. That's about it. Stay home.
What are your thoughts on this Omicron variant? Did you know that, breaking news, they just had the first U.S. case of the Omicron variant?
Yeah, I just found out this morning from my wife. I'm like, I don't know, my anxiety is like going up again because we don't know what to expect, so I don't know, my anxiety is going up again.
Yeah, well, 647-8833, sir, that's the crisis hotline at the Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center. I know that they do get a lot of calls with people who are just, you're right, it's like this thing is never over. We feel like, oh, good, we made it out of this surge. I mean, a lot of people died in that surge, though. It's crazy. And now we kind of crawl out of this, and then, boom, this whole new variant, new scares, new anxiety. So we feel you, sir, and I'm pretty sure you're not the only person who's starting to feel that, like, uncertainty, right? But, hey, Christmas is coming, Omicron or not.
Yes, it is. So we just hope and pray for the best.
Amen. Viva Santa Maria Kamalin.
Yes, yes.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good morning.
Okay, that's stuff. 712. Guys, Senator Tello Taitigui joining us in the KUAM News Zoom room. Senator, I kind of wanted to start, not necessarily in your wheelhouse, but I did see this message that was going around on WhatsApp last night. And it was pretty interesting message relative to hiring that's apparently going on over at the Guam Environmental Protection Agency. This WhatsApp message that I had received from a number of people, it was actually forwarded many times. You know when you get a WhatsApp message and it's like a lot of people send it around, it'll say at the top, forwarded many times. And so I actually got it last night, and it basically, this is what it reads. Guam EPA has an opportunity to hire a number of competitive limited-term appointments positions within the agency. These positions are unclassified with a single term lasting up to 18 months to include full benefits. The positions are for entry level but could be higher depending on applicants' experience. We will be hiring for all sections and programs within Guam EPA. Please see our webpage for a more complete agency description. Positions will range from our Administrative Services Division to Information Technology section to our more technical divisions like the Airland Division and our Water Division. Please have any interested applicants email me at jesse.cruz@epa.guam.gov a cover letter indicating the positions that they're interested in, a copy of their current resume, and a completed GovGuam employment application. There's a quick turnaround on this, as I need resumes by close of business Monday. That's just a few days away. Again, this is a competitive hiring process, and by submitting a resume, nothing is implied or guaranteed. Please forward and distribute. Thanks. And so I had sent this over to Guam EPA because I feel like that's a funny way to conduct business is via WhatsApp. You know what I mean? Especially when we have thousands of people who are without a job. I'm pretty sure there are many who may not be connected with the cabinet or, be in or may not even be on any of these WhatsApp groups that this message was forwarded to. You know what I mean? I feel like if we are going to hire, and I'm pretty sure everybody would agree that Guam EPA needs more staff. I mean, the environment's crazy out there, illegal dumping, right? But I'm just concerned that this is the method that they put it out. You know what I mean? It kind of seems like it's something for insiders, like, hey, heads up, guys, we got to fill these positions and send me your resume.
Yeah.
So what was
Yeah.
your? Yeah, I did get a statement from Guam EPA, and I want to get your reaction just first on this type of message. I mean, Lord knows we're in campaign season, and to me, it just looks a little funny when it's circulating around on WhatsApp, but you don't see anything official coming out from the government agency in question.
Well, this is definitely, and good morning to yourself and Jason, as of course the KUAM family and listening on. Oh, Merry Christmas to everyone before I forget.
Yeah.
It sure sounds to me like it's very selective with this. And number two, it sounds like, okay, either the governor is going to put some money into EPA with the ARP funding. And so I did a little bit of look-see and see what I can find. And I found one area, it's not confirmed yet, but about 1.6 million is going to be sent to EPA for environmental/enforcement. So just knowing that there could be possibly ARP funding going toward EPA, it's understandable they're trying to hire. But 18 months, so it's obviously unclassified. Because any kind of funding with any kind of salaries that are going on, it's got to be sustainable. What happens when there's no more ARP funding or no more funding coming from the federal government? We can't sustain these positions. So by giving a timeline on it, then I can only assume it's either coming from ARP funding or some kind of federal grant. Is this actually only on WhatsApp?
Okay, now here's where it gets interesting, Senator. I did get an official statement from the Guam Environmental Protection Agency via the Public Information Officer, Nick Lee. He messaged me, Hafaday and good evening, Chris. Thank you for the inquiry and for the opportunity to provide clarification on the message about employment opportunities with Guam EPA, which circulated on social media yesterday. So there's a confirmation that this was circulating on social media and not through any official channels like a government website or whatever. We do apologize to the public for any confusion and inconvenience that this message may have caused. The message is not an official announcement. This call out for interest in working with our agency was released in haste and ahead of our plan for an official call out. As regulators, we assure the public that the employee onboarding process will be in line with DOA's personnel rules and regs. When we are ready to make an official call out, more detailed information will be provided on our website so that this process is clear. This is a necessary step so that interested applicants can make informed decisions on how to join our agency. We will provide more info as soon as we can. We look forward to the public's interest with the agency. Well. How interesting is that, Senator?
Sounds like somebody jumped the gun, or they were still finding a way to get the message out there in their own selective way, which is very disingenuous, I think. Somebody should be reprimanded for sending something like that out. Who is this Jesse? By the way, who is this Jesse Cruz? Don't they already have a PIO that's at EPA?
Yeah.
So this is ironic, this Jesse Cruz person.
Yeah, we don't really have many details to work on, but just on its face. And again, I'm not saying that they don't need people over at Guam EPA, but when you're sending something around on WhatsApp and you're like, hey, heads up, we got to hire by Monday, and by the way, send your resume over to this email over here, and like no one in the public knows, and you don't know where it's being sent to. I mean, for all we know, this is going to all the campaign chats. We don't know.
Yeah, and for it to put a date though, a drop dead date of December 6th, if this was inadvertently, mistakenly sent out, then why is there a drop dead date? And if this reaction that you got from EPA is it was not supposed to be sent out, then they only have how many more days? And if you go through the open government law, which requires at least a 5-day notice, now this is, it said unclassified. So, the route on unclassified is basically she can pick and choose who she wants. That's how it's always been. It's very political when it's unclassified. Very, very political. That at least give I hope this kind of practice stops. Really, it needs to stop. It needs to be accountable regardless if it's ARP funding where she has her own discretion on how to use the funding. We've been calling out for transparency, from day one on this ARP funding. I mean, the investment para Hamzu was sent out with money that was already spent about a year ago, or money that was spent in January. So this is not very transparent, almost disingenuous.
So,
you know,
Senator, I mean, what do you think, though, if Guam EPA themselves is saying that someone jumped the gun and they issued this statement in haste ahead of the official announcement, but this statement that was released ahead of the official announcement, like you said, has a, hey, we got to hire people by Monday, then
Right.
when are they going to come out with the official announcement? Tomorrow? And then what, people are going to have to scramble through the weekend to slap together all their documents to, you know what I mean? And I want to say that I feel like this is happening in other agencies because we've got all this ARP funding. I
Right.
mean, you know, it's something we're going to have to check on the hiring, but I just feel like if we've got thousands of people who are still out of work, then they deserve a fair shot at any jobs that are available because of this federal ARP money.
Yeah, and especially those with credentials, especially those who've studied in the fields like this, should have the opportunity. And first, it should be done on credentials and you know, education background, especially at the EPA. It's not something you just dump somebody in there unless it's, you know, monitoring trash, you know, dumping of trash or, you know, something as simple as that. But I think they need some real educational, institutional knowledge regarding the environment and the protections of our environment at EPA. The EPA is funded strictly, I think, by federal funding. You know, none of it is, and of course, special funds, as well as in fees and fines. But they follow a strict guideline when it comes to federal money and how they spend it. You know, it's very accountable. But if you're getting an infusion of ARP money into EPA, you know, that money hasn't been accountable for for any of us, really. Until we have this Parahamsa, you know, this investment Parahamsa going
Investment
on.
Paraguahu?
IPH. There's been none, you know. I mean, and then they're braiding ARP funding with grant funding coming from the federal government,
Holistic.
as well as local funding. And I'm like, local funding? Where did you go there? We know about where local funding has been placed at in these agencies, but.
We did get a couple comments here. There's one that says, it is happening in other agencies. No one is saying anything because they don't want to get fired. Or maybe they're not saying anything because they want to get hired.
Then I suggest to please, you know, I'm very discreet. If someone emails me and brings in something to my attention, I look into it all the time. You don't have to leave your name or worry about it. All you have to please keep this, you know, when you're sending an email, just say, I would not like my name to be used in any way or manner. I mean, that's as simple as that. But if you know if something's going on, then please let us know. I know even people are afraid of whistleblowing because someone seems to find out. But yeah, please, if you're seeing something going on, and I've always said this on your show, please don't turn a blind eye. But if you're worried about your job, which I don't blame you, you know, you're concerned about it, then send me an email and I will look into it myself and I'll do the research.
There was this tell it to Tello, I think was what it was.
And expect results.
There's a comment here from Tony. He comments, there's currently no job openings on the official Guam EPA website. Go screen record that, Jason, just in case anything pops up before the end of the show. Well, Senator,
I'll be calling Walter. I'm wait until decent hour. I'll give him a call.
Well, I heard it was buzzing last night, so we'll see.
I bet.
And I do have an interview with Guam EPA a little bit later on in the morning.
Oh, okay, then great.
Hey, so this ARP, the plan, I was on leave when it came out, but I don't know if we had talked about it with you. But what did you make of that? Because and we're talking about this investment Hamzu. Yes, and it was basically like when I looked at it, it said, you know, GPA got 12 million, or you know, this agency 8 million. I didn't really see a breakdown as to like what that money was going to be used for, which people I think are being very critical about. Nestor had a really good Zoom with the Minority Leader Senator Chris Duenas last. It was on. I don't know when he did it, but I listened to it when I got home from work yesterday, and Senator Duenas was right. There's like little to no detail. I mean, we all sucked it up and waited for the plan to come down from up on high for, I mean, God, it was almost a year. And when it
Yeah.
did, it wasn't even really a plan.
Yeah, and it did look like an island address than anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about something that happened, 6 months ago, 7 months ago, or even in 2020. 2020. It just, it's not clear because again, it's smoke and mirrors, on how they're spending this funding. Every time they say they're spending some of this funding on a project, they muddy the water by incorporating, and we're using federal grants and local funding. So they're, putting these funds together, they're braiding these funding so you can't find out really how much is being spent out of our money versus the federal grant money. So I've been doing for the last week and a half, actually longer, doing my own forensic on funding, especially when it comes to federal grants, and trying to find out really where this money is coming from and going to. That's easily done because you can look at that online. The one thing that I'm now looking into is the Office of the Investigating General, the OIG, where any kind of funding that's spent by these states and territories, they have to be accountable and reported to the Office of an Attorney General on accountability. So we're looking into that too, because if she's not going to give us information, then we're going to try and look for that information on a federal side and get that information there. I was just looking, by the way, at FOIAs the other day at the Attorney General's office on Guam, and it looked like they stopped, putting out that information on how much FOIAs are coming out, and just going through that and seeing these FOIAs on the questions that should be obviously given to the people of Guam so that the money is accountable. It's ridiculous. So it forces us to go to another area, which is the federal side, to find out where this money is being spent, because they have to account for it on the federal side. But for some reason, she doesn't seem to have to account on the local side where this money is being spent.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw that the governor was off island and she attended the meeting of the National Governors Association. There was a story from Nestor Lecanto that we played during the newscast. I'm going to try and can we get that clip? I just sent it to you.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think she's going over to find out how they can spend the infrastructure funding that's been recently passed by the president, the $1.2 trillion that's going to be distributed. I think it's 197, is it?
Yeah.
That Guam is going to get, and how they're able to spend this funding. But I think it's kind of clear on the areas in which they can spend this money. That's why I don't understand why in her IPH, the investment plan.
Is that what you're doing, the IPH?
14 million, that she's giving 14 million to the Port Authority of Guam out of ARP funding. It doesn't make any sense, because the infrastructure bill clearly talks about ports and talks about transportation.
Yeah.
So why is she moving 14 million to the Port Authority of Guam?
And we're seeing that with you look at some of the money that was given to agencies over other agencies. To me, it's clear that if you're tight, then you're going to get ARP, and if you're not, like the mayors, they can't even get the COVID differential pay. It's pretty obvious that there's a lot of favoritism going on with this ARP money. But
the money can definitely be used to a lot of different areas, like you said, Chris, a lot of different areas. But that money, the ARP funding money, was to help the people of Guam to recover. Those who've lost their jobs, businesses who've lost their business. That's what this funding is supposed to be used. If you're going to start using ARP money for infrastructure, that wasn't what it was made for. We've got now an infrastructure bill out. Of course, there's not enough money, but if our people are hurting out there, they need assistance. They need help until we can stand up on our feet.
What about your bill? What's the status on your bill that would require the reporting of hiring and raises and all that stuff?
Well, I guess I'm not in the in-group that I can't get my bill to have a public hearing. It's been introduced. I mean, it's definitely needed. So I'm just waiting for a public hearing. And that's sometimes when you're not on that side.
Well, can you explain the process, Senator? Because what is the process? Like, who does it go through? Does it go through the Rules Committee and the Vice Speaker?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So it goes through. What happens is a bill is introduced. It's sent to the clerk for introduction. It's given a number, and then the bill is then given to the Committee on Rules chair, which right now has been acting Senator Amanda Shelton. So she receives the bill, then it's reviewed on where this bill should go for a committee.
Right, and then so if it's a Republican bill, unless it's Senator Mary Torres, they immediately throw it in the wastebasket. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Or they put it in the this can wait shelf, even if it's very, very important.
What's that? Is that from Tele? Oh, yeah, I get. Huh.
You get people who try very hard, senators who hold committees who try very hard to hear the bills right away. I know Senator Paris tries to hear the bills right away. I know Speaker Terlahi tries to hear the bills right away. But if you get a bill that's very controversial, and after, what's really good is once a bill that goes to a committee. Oh, let me go back. And I always tend to jump ahead. I apologize. But once a bill is reviewed by Committee on Rules, and it then goes to that particular senator who holds that committee in that subject matter, where it gets really, fishy and, very unethical is when you get a certain bill that it's obviously supposed to go to public health, which is the oversight chair, but it's going to somebody else because that person's buddy with that one. That is so frustrating.
So who is to blame for it? Because I understand how frustrating it is, but which senator do we blame for it? Is it Senator Shelton because she's acting?
It's Shelton. She's the one that has the authority to put that bill there. I think we've twice, the Committee on Rules, when they have met, there has been a concern brought up and asking for a positioning of the re-referral of a bill because it obviously should not be in that committee. It should be in another committee. So it's very, very frustrating. So now they're getting a little bit creative. For instance, there's a bill that's obvious to go to public health. Obvious.
Which bill?
There's there's an adoption bill. That's going to be on the public, it's on the session agenda. So my bill is an adoption bill, and it's obvious that public health oversees this, and it's creating rules and regulations. So it's obviously supposed to go to the Committee on Health.
Which is Speaker Teresa Lahi.
Which it did. But of course, it took forever to get there. For some reason, it was delayed until finally it got to the Committee of Health. Then you get another bill that came up about the adoption rules and regulations. But instead of giving it to the Committee on Health, they give it to the Oversight of Finance.
Governmental affairs.
Because that person put $1,000 just by putting, I'm appropriating from my office $1,000 to cover for the ads that have to be put out for the public hearing. For the ads, it's less than 1/4 of what the body of the bill is all about. It's about rules and regulations. So what they did, because of that, they put it over to the other side, to finance. So there was a discussion in the Committee on Rules to refer this bill to its proper, committee. But, you get things like that, or, people are conniving and scheming.
Or you get that, you got the leap with Senator Shelton, and then you got the other one with Senator Blas, and Senator Shelton's moves. So I get what you're saying, and guys, it's a procedural thing where You have what you have is senators like Senator Tello will introduce a bill, and then their bill collects dust. But then you'll have someone like, let's say, like Senator Shelton will introduce a similar bill, but then they'll put that little thing in there appropriating $1,000 for whatever, and that turns it into an appropriations measure, and then it goes over to Senator Joe St. Augustine, who's buddy-buddy with the administration, and then they gun Senator Shelton's bill way ahead of the line. That's basically what's happening. Mm-hmm. And then the senators who are able to get their bills at the front of the line, they reap all the benefits, and they basically take the credit for, I got it, yeah.
Yeah, and then sometimes it just, it's disheartening. You're doing your best to try and get these bills that are so needed, especially the adoption bill that's coming up. Thank goodness it's on the session agenda. But the other adoption bill is on the session agenda, like I mentioned. And before I was happy now we have 2 bills. We're finally going to get rules and regs. But it was too late. This bill should have been, heard way before another bill that authorized a private company, adoption company, to go out and receive, our children, without any guidelines or rules or regulations. So now we're trying to put that through to give interim. The only difference between my bill and the other adoption bill is that my bill allows Department of Department of Public Health to create interim rules and regs within 6 months, and they can follow these guidelines until rules and regs are created by the AAA process. So it allows them to do that straight away. In fact, they can do that right now without legislation. But I guess they're not moving in that direction, so we're going to allow them the authority. But the other bill allows them to create rules and regulations in the interim, but you still have to go back to the legislature to get them approved. And it's what's the whole purpose of it? This bill is to allow them right away, because you already have an adoption agency on this island who's already advertising in the newspaper about adoptions that have no guidelines or rules or regulations on opening an adoption agency. So there's so much frustration, but you just got to meditate, humana. Through this. Please remember, it's for the good of the people of Guam.
Yeah, I just got to say, Senator, I don't know, but I feel like with this adoption agency thing, there's just so much that happens so fast under the cover of this pandemic, and right. I mean, we're coming up with rules and regs after the fact that just nuts to me.
Yeah, and what's scary is seeing it in the newspaper, this company already advertising out there. It's really scary. We saw what happened in the Marshall Islands.
I mean, these guys will party about over anything.
Human trafficking because of that. Human trafficking of their own people, and that's a small island. To not see that coming. We have to worry here. You get individuals who are not in a good frame of mind or enhanced by some kind of addiction and want to fund their addiction, that we saw people actually selling their babies, and that's what happened in the Marshall Islands and other places, in the States, of human trafficking, and we don't want to see that happen here on this island. It's our responsibility to care for our children, those children who are, so vulnerable and those who need a fighting chance.
Right on, Senator. Thank you for your time this morning. Good talk.
Yep, always. Merry Christmas, everybody. I know we're going to find some goodwill and hope in some of those people who are not, who are not being fair.
Maybe you need to send the acting rules chair a fruitcake or something.
Yeah, or just, sing them a song about goodwill toward men.
Goodwill toward your colleagues.
Of helping people on the island. But, and again, I reach out to the community out there. Don't turn a blind eye. If you have an issue or you're seeing something going on and you're afraid to say anything, just, we will keep it confidential. Just email my office. You can even call my office if you feel uncomfortable about doing that. And secondly, a lot of these bills need the people of Guam's help. A lot of them do, because some of these senators don't react unless the public is well notified, and the public reaches out to senators to saying, hey, why aren't you hearing this bill? It's in your committee, have a public hearing. We need to have this bill heard right away so that the people of Guam can put their input in it. And
Thank
it
you,
can
Senator.
pass, we can help our people of Guam. So please, everyone, stay tuned to what's happening. We go into session on Monday, watch what's going on. And thank you.
And get
Yeah,
your
but-
documents together to put in your application over at Guam EPA.
I'm anxious to hear what happened. What time are you having them on?
Well, we're going to do a Zoom later, and then they're not allowed to come on live. So.
Oh,
Yeah,
so this.
Okay, thank you, Senator. We'll see you. 7:40, quick break, and we're back with more of The Link next. Good morning.
It's time to save on shipping. Support our local entrepreneurs. Find the best steals, deals, and unique products for your holiday shopping needs. The Christmas Pops virtual holiday marketplace is your hub for the best local gifts. Watch the Christmas Pops special airing through December 11th and streaming now across the stations and platforms of KUAM Communications. Visit KUAMChristmasPops.com and be on the lookout for local business profiles on our social media pages. Shop small and support local this holiday season.
Presented by UOG School of Business and Public Administration, JA Guam, inspiring youth, and the Guam Visitors Bureau, making Guam a better place to live, work, and visit.
Hafa This is Governor Lou Leon Guerrero. If you're struggling to pay rent and utilities because of the pandemic, your government can help. Our Emergency Rental Assistance Program provides direct relief to you. To date, over $6.9 million has helped over 1,500 households.
Apply online at eoa.guam.gov or call the Department of Administration's Emergency Rental Assistance Program at 671-638-4518 or 19.
Get the job done the right way by getting the right stuff at East West Rental Center. With years of experience helping builders, we definitely got what you need. Call 646-1463 or visit us in Upper Tumon. Open Monday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Sundays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape Superstore. Stop on by and visit our showroom today. We offer everyday low prices on all major outdoor power equipment like bush cutters, chainsaw, power washer, generators, and more. Need service, repair, maintenance? Well, check out Guam's best superstore only at Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape, located in Barragata along Army Drive between Submarina and Besta Market. Call 735-7446 for more information. Now shipping to surrounding islands. Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape Superstore.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
Do you feel like you're missing out on something? Make life more rewarding with Pacific Points. Earn and redeem points for bill rebates and free load at IT&E, discounts on fuel at Shell, vouchers at Foodies, and United Mileage Plus miles. You can even pay with Pacific Points at IT&E, Shell, and Foodies. Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
The relationship between Guam and Manila, Philippines is undeniable as we share similar cultural traditions, history, and heritage. With generations of Filipinos calling Guam home, KUAM presents a monthly look at the capital city, featuring in-depth and engaging interviews on everything from medical tourism to new business and government leaders. Veteran newscaster Nestor Lecanto delivers Beyond Our Borders. This special program is brought to you by KFC. Listen, watch, and learn from the daily Chamorro news updates from KUAM News. Catch them on The Link during the 8 o'clock hour, streaming online on Isla Radio, or on the KUAM News YouTube channel for your convenience. Tune in and stay informed, all while preserving our precious culture through the daily use of our native Chamorro language. Chamorro news updates are brought to you by your familia at First Hawaiian Bank.
Looking for TV schedules, upcoming sports, or special presentations, or what you may have missed over the busy week you had? Well, look no further than KOAM Digital Digest. This weekly emailed newsletter puts all kinds of information in the hands of subscribers each and every week. Just subscribe and we will make sure you keep up with your favorites and stay informed and entertained throughout it all. Go to KOAM.com, click on the newsletter tab, give us your email address, and you are all set. Brought to you in digital partnership with King's Restaurant and Ruby Tuesday Guam. It's the KOAM Digital Digest, your weekly guide to the latest information and best entertainment on the stations and platforms of KUAM.
Listen, watch, and learn from the daily Tomorrow News updates from KUAM News. Catch them on The Link during the 8 o'clock hour, streaming online on Isla Radio, or on the KUAM News YouTube channel for your convenience. Tune in and stay informed, all while preserving our precious culture through the daily use of our native Chamorro language. Tomorrow News updates are brought to you by your familia at First Hawaiian Bank.
See what's on TV tonight with schedules, network news and notes, local promotions and giveaways on KUAM Communications social media pages. Like and follow us on Facebook or Instagram now for all the latest and never miss out.
The world of television is more exciting than ever. Don't miss a minute of special presentations from NBC on KUAM TV8 or from CBS on KUAM TV11. Every month, we'll bring you the fun and excitement of award shows and red carpet moments, special series presentation, and other great network programs. Brought to you locally by King's Restaurant, Ruby Tuesday Guam, and Docomo Pacific, giving you more reasons to tune in and turn on. Fall in love with TV again with the best from KUAM Communications.
0094 on Breeze 93.9 FM.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight. Walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird. Here to stay is a new bird. He's singing our
Hey, good morning.
song as we go along.
Yeah, it was only a matter of time. The Omicron virus has hit America. As the U.S. has reported its first case of the new variant, 747. We had Dr. Ho on yesterday, and he was kind of echoing what a lot of the doctors in the States are saying, is they need a little more time to figure out if the vaccine is going to be effective against this new variant, which I thought was really interesting because I saw a media report with the chair of the Physicians Advisory Group, and he was just straight up like, oh, yeah, it's going to protect people against the new variant. So I would just be safe out there, guys. I mean, is it here already? I don't know. Are we going to do anything about it? I don't think so. Nope. I don't see us strengthening the quarantine or whatever, but all around the world, bro, they're really reacting. 748 Pacific Point, Scavo Enterprises, IT&E, and Jack in the Box proud to present this episode of The Link. Speaker Therese Derlahi joins us now for her every other Wednesday check-in, which is today because she had scheduling stuff yesterday. So good morning, Speaker.
Good morning, Chris, Sabrina, Jason, and all of KUAM and all of Guam. Good morning.
Good morning. It's been a while. Before I even get to the plan from the governor's office, I did want to just talk about the oversight hearing because I don't think we had a chance to kind of go over that. With the original landowners that testified, Guam Ancestral Lands Commission, as well as Department of Land Management. I mean, I just think that's extremely important as we kind of eye the Eagles Field area, or it might even be a done deal by now. But just, what happens next? You had the oversight hearing, so what's next for you?
Well, the Ancestral Lands Commission assured me that they would try their best to notify any other landowners that were not present at that hearing or that they know or they haven't neither of us have heard from, just so that they are aware. we were getting the lay down on the map of the actual 100 acres that they're looking at versus the lots that these owners own, right? So that we can get the exact lot numbers, and now we can be more precise, because before we were just talking to them about, they're talking about in the area or the vicinity of your land, but now we know for sure, like some of those that testified at the hearing, it's exactly their parcels, right? Their lots. So that was the next step, was to get those the exact lot numbers and notify those landowners. That's what Ancestral Lands has promised to do, is to notify them. That's what they were going to do. I think they were looking at an ad and phone calls. So they do have some contact information. Not sure how updated it is, but they do have the contact information.
There was one original landowner, and I didn't know, and I don't know if it was accurate. He was mentioning something about a 100-year lease. Did you catch that?
Well, we don't know. This is what's one of the points of the hearing is they're talking about a lease, but no one knows what's the term of that lease, right? Is it going to be 2 years, 50 years, or 100 years? So of course, the whole contention is if they are willing to lease it long term, then it looks to us like they do not need it. It's excess. And if it's excess, and I don't even think we need to debate this anymore, because we have a letter from the Admiral saying, or the Secretary of the Navy saying, they are willing to return 100 acres, right? That they are willing to do that, and they're going to put it on their list. So that means it's not necessary for them. They're willing to return it. So we should deal that way, not deal with the lease. That is meaning they're going to keep ownership of it. And so that's where I think, there's several issues going on here. One is the landowners are not involved. They're not being dealt with. Second, we couldn't tell for sure which lots they were talking about. Now, hopefully we know. The third one is, yes, why are we still dealing with a lease when we have a letter from the Secretary of the Navy saying he's willing to transfer it, to return it, right? And so that's the whole big deal. So I'm thinking the lease, that's why it makes it look like the lease is really just a vehicle to get around doing anything with the original landowners or dealing with them. That's why it looks, bad. And that's why we're having these hearings. We want to, kind of flush out what is the intention here? Why are we dealing with a lease when we have a letter saying they are willing to return the land to the government of Guam?
But the governor's kind of made it clear that this is where she wants the new $1 billion healthcare complex, and you have these original landowners that are over at the legislature in tears, emotional. They want their land. I mean, what's going to happen? I mean, is there anything the legislature can do?
Well, rightly so. I mean, all the land returns on Guam really stemmed from landowners like that coming and making their voices heard, people giving them an opportunity to be heard, and really it's their non-ending efforts that have really got any land on Guam returned. So all of us who had any land returned anywhere on Guam, we should be, I didn't have any, but we should be grateful for everyone who came before us who fought for their land to get returned, right? And fought for land in general to get returned. And that's why we have this policy in law. And so I intend, to stand by that policy. I think the senators are going to as well. What we're looking at is an executive branch who is making a negotiation, and from what we can gather together, they're making a negotiation that bypasses this policy, this law that's in place, and it completely bypasses these landowners. So no, I don't think, I don't know. We haven't seen a draft of the license, which we FOIA'd, right? So they claim that there's none, but I think that's not true, because it's very clear there's a back and forth draft license or lease agreement that is in place. There's a draft for sure. They have not released it to us on the FOIA, so I'm consulting with counsel regarding that. The other thing we know for sure is that what the Secretary of Navy says he's going to return it, it should get returned. And then we can deal with it as the government of Guam, right? And we can take care of the landowners, and we have methods of taking care of the landowners. But that's why it's I don't think it's acceptable that the governor is negotiating with the Navy a lease or a license instead of just following through with what the Navy has already said they will do, and that is to return the land. That cannot be acceptable. And I hope that for all the people of Koam, and not just these particular landowners, and that for all original landowners who have had land return or who are still waiting for land return, that they're paying attention, because this is a huge shift in policy, a huge bypass of the law, potentially, right? That if we allow, I think you can expect that to continue. And I'm just praying, and I'm really grateful actually, because I've heard from a lot of people of Guam who've been silent for very long about most of the things that are going on. But when it comes to this, they're not going to remain silent anymore. And look at these landowners, they're trembling. They come in here and they're very emotional. And I really feel for them that they have to go through this again. I mean, haven't we been through enough when it comes to land, right?
That's why when it's being
we've protested, jumped fences, everything.
And now here it is. At the end of the day, our own people are holding land back from our own people. That's why it's so hard to swallow. But Madam Speaker, we got the governor on this a few months back, and she was very clear that, in her opinion, based on whatever research she did, that these original landowners were already compensated. That's what she told KUAM News, right? It was all over the news. So fast forward to today, you've had these hearings, like Sabrina and everyone witnessed, very emotional original landowners trembling, coming to tears, because they just can't grasp that the governor would circumvent this process that, like you said, has been in place for decades, the process for return of lands from the federal government. So I don't know. I feel like the governor is, she pays attention. Her people definitely pay attention. So if they saw this hearings, why didn't they come out and say, oh my God, are you serious? You're concerned about it? Well, let me figure this out and let's talk about this, instead of this just like ignoring the issue. Because if the governor wants this health complex and she wants it there, then, she should be able to justify why these original landowners are just being ignored. You're right. They're crying and no one's hearing.
Right. Well, you're going to have to ask the governor to answer as to the why she's doing that. But I heard her come on the radio, I think the very next day, and say straight out, no, the land's not being returned. We're going to lease it. And this is what I'm telling you. It's mind-boggling when we have a letter from the Navy saying we are willing to return 100 acres. And this is a change, because prior to this, they had listed return of 50 acres, right? And we had no idea where those 50 acres were going to be. And so now they're saying 100 acres. So, to her credit, she got them to increase from 50 to 100. But but now I don't understand why we're still talking about a lease or a license of it.
So what about the other land, Speaker? We did this story, that communication with the governor and DOD. There's a lot of other land that's in the process of being transferred back to the government of Guam. So how do we keep this from happening with all this other land?
No. Okay, so we went through that in the hearing as well. Thanks for reminding me. So we went through the list of all the other land that is slated for return and in the process of being returned, not just promised. It's in the process already, right? But it sounds to me from the testimony of the Department of Land Management that most of these properties are already kind of being sought for easements, right? They're either water, power, or other easements that the government of Guam looks to me like they want to keep. So this is another thing that, we charge the Ancestral Landowners Commission. They were all there, and I want to give them all credit. They stayed, they listened, and I think they really do care about these landowners and want to do what is just. So they promised that they thought they should take it upon themselves to also notify those landowners as well. That was my goal. So I'm very glad that they agreed to do that they're going to notify those landowners so that they also are aware that their property is potentially not going to be returned, is going to be kept by the government of Guam, and that they're in front of that, right? Because you got to get in front of it, or they will just ignore you and obviously make a deal around you. So I wanted them to be in on that. And
do you hear what you're saying, Speaker? Do you hear what you're saying? Do you hear what you're saying? you're saying that original landowners need to be very aware because the governor's going to sneak around the backside and take their land because the military. I mean, is that where we're at now?
This is kind of looking to me like, I don't know. I have given them so many opportunities to come and explain themselves, to make it very clear that that's not our intention. But opportunity after opportunity, they come back and they say, we're doing this, So I'm just saying, if that's the case, then, I think landowners and all of us, we need to stand by the landowners and help them to get into the negotiating position. And okay, this is the bottom line. The governor can say, we're going to keep this property. We're not going to return it to ancestral landowners if it gets returned, right? She can do that. But if she wants to do that, it puts an obligation on all of us to take care of these landowners, right? That's what the law says, that they're going to be compensated out of the trust fund. And this is the problem because we have not been able to compensate landowners out of the trust fund, right? And there's some people say, oh, but you've got millions of dollars in the trust fund. The millions of dollars is nothing when you look at the number of landowners that need to be compensated, right? That's the big issue that everyone needs to understand. If you don't get your land back, you might end up with pennies. You know what I mean? That's what they're looking at right now. And so because they're trying to resolve how are they going to increase leases and income so that we can pay people who the government has decided to keep their land. And, so I just want that if we are going to keep land in the government of Guam, that should be going back to original landowners, that we should be doing that on a very deliberate basis. Like this land is so crucial and there is no other replacement for it. We can't use any other government land for this purpose. And so it is worth it for us to keep it and compensate these landowners.
Thank you, Speaker. We're going to jump over the top of the hour because we did have a few other questions for you relative to ARP. It's 8:01 on the breeze. We're KUAM FM, Agatna Guam, KUAM TV. Fix yourselves, guys. Here we come. Good morning. Good morning, Koam. Yep, it's Thursday, December 2nd, 2021. Pacific Points, Cabo Enterprises, IT&E, and Jack in the Box. Proud to present this episode of The Link. It's Thursday. Coming up in this hour, we've got our 8 o'clock newscast with Tomas Maglotnia, CNMI regional issues, and then we're also going to get some winners. Who do you count on, Guam? We've got 3 awesome prize packages, courtesy Calvo's Insurance, to give away in the 8 o'clock hour. It's so easy when we start talking about who we count on. Then you're just going to call in here, 671-637-0094, and you're going to tell us who in your life you count on and why. And we're going to give you it's really awesome prizes, guys. So keep on listening to The Link. It's 8:03. Let's get back into it with Speaker Therese Terlahi. But before we do, Speaker, I wanted to play this little clip here of the governor who is off island at the National Governors Association, the winter meetings. And so here's this little clip of our governor, and she's discussing the successful efforts of the National Governors Association in lobbying Congress to give governors full authority over the ARP funds.
Look how we were discussing about the ARP, and one of the things that we wanted is for the governors to have discretionary power over the ARP, and that happened, right? We were given, and I'll tell you, my senators in Guam are very upset because they cannot appropriate the $596 million that.
I have a feeling you played that soundbite for one part in particular.
Well, I know that Senator Moylan's making a big deal about my senator's part, but just as a speaker, if you could just react to that kind of clip, because I don't know, if I was a senator, it would have rubbed me the wrong way.
Well, a lot of this stuff regarding the ARP is rubbing us the wrong way, obviously, right? I mean, from the start, They don't want to release a plan. From the start, we tried to give them a plan, and they say, oh, thank you very much. We're going to work with you. And we really haven't seen much work with you. We've had to go through an entire budget process without a plan on how $600 million in federal funds is going to be spent. It is an incredible, I think, lack of transparency and an incredible lack of collaboration, right? And collaboration is maybe not necessary in some of their minds, but it doesn't work for me because I don't understand how they think when they've shorted it, in their budget requests for critical agencies such as public health, promising ARP funds, and then expect us to follow suit with a budget that does that, and then we see no ARP funds for public health. Things like this, they make no sense to me. So I just don't think. I don't know. I mean, I don't expect that the other governors are as, joking about it, because I think in all the other states it's very, very serious, and I am very serious about it. That what the governors spend without transparency, or if we can't make those funds work together with our local funds, that we are just going to be, wasting funds. We're going to end up in the end with things that are either duplicated, which is, not necessary, and then a waste, or we're going to end up with things that are really not that necessary, while we have gaping holes, like at public health, that are not funded at all. And so it's like a, discombobulated government, and that's not what you want. Legislatures, they can joke all they want, but if the legislature is responsible for local funds, for example, general funds, they have hundreds of millions of dollars, and now they want us to take general funds and put it into some programs that they refuse to fund out of ARP. And in other states, the legislatures are maybe more united and are able to, hold the governors more accountable. And if you look at like different states like Hawaii, they show their plans, and many states they work them even into the laws, so that when the governor says this is what we're going to do, the governors are open and they want to make that promise to the people, and so they are willing to put those, and incorporate those into the law, so that it shows we're putting this much money, of federal, and then it's going to go to this project, and the legislature gives the authority for certain projects, right, to happen, and it should work together. That's how to make programs that we have not seen on Guam, infrastructure that we want to last, and so I don't know. I still see the need, and I think it's very apparent to me now when we've seen this draft or their plan, and they have not funded, for example, public health, the $14 million shortfall in public health that they promised to fund, and instead we're funding employees and things like this, which in our proposal we said, please don't fund employees out of this ARP money. We want lasting changes to Guam, and we want something that is sustainable. And when we fund employees out of the ARP fund, it's not sustainable going forward. We're not going to have that money after the 2 years, and how do we fund those employees?
Right. Speaker, and when you talk about
all of the government, the general funds and the federal funds, they have to be shifted to be consistent, to be sustainable. Take care of employees with the local side, take care of, especially if they're permanent employees, if we intend these employees to be permanent.
Speaker, when you talk about the other governors that were sitting there on the stage with our governor, it's an easy Google. Like if you Googled ARP spending plans, like all the states, they have these very detailed websites that show where the money's going. We don't got nothing. We had like 3 pieces of paper. So that's
what I'm saying. I don't think it's a victory to say, oh, we were able to exclude our legislature. I think it's really going to be downfall for the people of Guam. Lack of transparency has really been plaguing our government for years. It's plagued our government before this governor, and it continues to plague our government. And if we can't get over that for ourselves, I don't blame our young people for being frustrated with the government of Guam and wanting to go look at other governments. But we can do so much better, and all it takes is really be, if you've got hard work that has been done, then let's see it, put it out, and we have to coordinate it. Almost all of this ARP plan, you look at it, it's affecting government agencies, right? Well, there's a lot of it. There's some of it for individual assistance, that's the RISE money. There's a lot of it for business assistance, and then the rest goes to government agencies, right? List by list. And so some of these I liked because they overlapped with what our plan had said, right? We wanted to put some money towards GWA for additional infrastructure. Some of these are completely new to me. For example, the employees part, right? And hiring significant amount of employees with ARP funds. And then, of course, what's shocking to me is the lack of funding for, like I said, public health and those agencies that were promised to be funded. We see like GMH, DICIT, Guam Behavioral Health, Revenue and Taxation. We agreed on that we want those agencies to have some of this ARP funds. They are most impacted, and we need changes in those agencies. But when you look at the detail, Chris, like you're describing in different states, we can tell what change is going to be made in those agencies. From this plan, we can't tell that right now. And so again, here we are. The agencies are spending their FY22 money. They're getting, looks like they will be getting ARP funds, but we may not in the end up with the same changes in those agencies that we intended when we went into the FY22 budget, or that the agencies told us when they went into the FY22 budget, and and we're not clear what the governor wants because it's not really detailed in her plan.
Yeah.
One example, let me just share this with you. It's like, for example, Public Works, right? She's promised to give Public Works additional $12 million, and it says for road projects. That sounds fantastic. We had also, put in our plan to give DPW money, and we also wanted, roads and other things. DPW came in their budget hearing and said, if we want $30 million in ARP funds, and if we get it, we're going to use it for equipment, buses, personnel, expenses for derelict buildings, bus drivers, heavy equipment, abandoned vehicles, the coral pit, stormwater, and sewer upgrades. And so they just don't jive. And so that hard work to make these things, a tight plan and one where everyone's going to be able to predict at the end of the year, what are we going to be looking at? What improvements? That's missing. And the other thing is that since this, we've had the infrastructure bill passed, and it looks like, there is going to be infrastructure money available for roads for sure. And I've been trying to get from DPW clarification as to, which roads are they going to be able to use that on? What is their plan with the money that we've now seen is going to be coming? It's the same thing when, I heard you talking earlier about we're getting infrastructure money in addition to ARP money. We don't have a plan, of course, for that infrastructure money, but we do know that some of it's going to go to the port, some of it's going to go to the roads, and so we've got those things in this ARP plan. So just
a lot of duplication.
Still a lot of questions. This ARP plan, by the way, funded some of the other things was like $385,000 for the Department of Military Affairs. There's still, funding in here, the quarantine and isolation facilities. And I've not received any clarification. I've been asking as to, are these going to be reimbursed by FEMA? Does that mean we're going to have this 31 million again, or we're not, right? And I can't get a definite answer. Everybody says, oh yes, they should be, but I can't get it in writing, right? That it will be reimbursed by FEMA, the 31 million for quarantine and isolation. Then they're giving money to the Bureau of Women's Affairs, 129,000. They're giving money. we talked about this before, Sabrina, $7.8 million to GRMC. And then, 485 to chief medical examiner, but they don't specify what these are for. And we've budgeted the chief medical examiner. So we want to know, right, like what are the changes in the agencies that the governor's intending by her dedication of money to those agencies? Are those changes sustainable, or are they just putting on new employees for 1 or 2 years? And then the government of Guam, we're talking about merit employees. So we're going to be looking at an obligation that, we're going to have to find a way to sustain, those are the types of decisions I think that need to be made by both branches together. Things that are going to tie or give us an obligation beyond this funding for years going forward.
Speaker, the those numbers that you were throwing out, is that a breakdown? That because I didn't see that in the.
Yeah, is that the breakdown that's going around?
Right.
Well, I took the list or what the governors provided. We sent them a FOIA for the plan. We got a list, or we got a general breakdown, but it included all types of federal funding sources, local funding, and ARP. So it was not a clear ARP plan. It was just kind of what are we going to do on Guam plan in general, and then so we had to pull out all the ARP sources, and we made a list of those. We put it against the plan that we had submitted to the governor, so we could compare which ones she funded, which ones we agreed on, which ones were new. So that's where I'm getting that list of new ones.
Can you share that?
The one that we got that's circulating, it has like 569 governor's ARP, 51 million bonds, other federal funds, 1 billion, DOD funding, 47.3 million, local funds, 142.5 million, and then tax credits, loan guarantees, 78 million, for a total of 1.9 billion. Is that the one that you have?
No, I don't even see that list. My list doesn't look like that.
Oh, I'll send you the one we have. But I wanted to ask Speaker before, because I know Sabrina has questions too. When you talk about hiring, did you receive that WhatsApp message circulating from Guam EPA about send me your resume because we're hiring all these LTAs by Monday?
Oh, I haven't seen that, but Chris, this is my concern. I've been hearing this a lot in all agencies, like across the board, that there's a lot of limited term hiring going on in the agencies. And that's supposed to be really an exception, because we are supposed to be a merit-based, merit-based employment system in the government of Guam. So you're supposed to be competitive. That's the number one thing in a merit-based system is competition. You're supposed to be able to compete and fairly. And so that's my concern with limited term hiring anywhere. It's like, what was the need for that? And if it was a regular position and it's budgeted, then why not just go through the regular competitive process?
Yeah, because it looks like, so anyway, I'll send you the message, but we did get confirmation from Guam EPA that it came from a Guam EPA staffer, but it was released in haste ahead of any official announcement. But the problem I have with that is that this thing has been circulating around on WhatsApp, and it's basically saying, hey, we need to hire these positions by Monday, send me your resumes. And so, I don't know, it just really seems fishy to me that they didn't go through the official channels. And so Guam EPA had said that, there's going to be an official announcement coming out, but if they're trying to hire people by Monday, it doesn't really give people an opportunity. And, there's a lot of people without jobs out there who would love the opportunity, a fair shot at a government of Guam job.
Right. Well, I think that's, like I said, my understanding is that's becoming very common, or it's become very common again, and that they're hiring these limited terms, they're putting them into these positions, then they're going to do the formal announcements and try to do the competition. So sometimes, at least in the past, I don't know about right now, and it would be case by case, but sometimes they put people in limited term positions so that they can get experience in that position, so that when they make the formal announcements of those positions, then they are looking more qualified.
Yeah,
right?
But then other times they hire people in these positions, like let's say it's a limited term employment for 18 months. Oh, well, hey, look, that's just going to carry you right past the election.
Well, of course. I mean, yeah, sorry. I don't mean of course. I mean, unfortunately, Sometimes it looks like that. Yeah. Oh, okay. I take it back. The breakdown that I started with was one I got from the Post. Yeah, they had a breakdown of the funds. And so I started with that. We did send a FOIA. I don't think we've received a response yet.
You need to send a FOIA as the acting lieutenant governor?
You can't just go in there and like start looking in the filing cabinet? I mean, you can't, really?
I haven't gone in and opened up filing cabinets at the governor's office. No, Chris and Sabrina, I'm not doing that.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah, can
I'm
I
pretty
just...
sure they teach that in law school. Do
Yeah.
not go into official government agencies and start opening file
It's
cabinets.
like on the second day of law school,
I'm
right?
fairly
Yeah.
sure.
We
Go ahead,
are,
Speaker.
you know, we're having session coming up this week.
Yes.
It had to get delayed, unfortunately, and that's really putting a time crunch on us. So we're going into session. There's several bills. The LEAP bill is one of them. So this is very relevant to our discussion this morning, right, regarding ARP funds. The governor has a program to put in about $25 million of ARP funds for a business program. She wants the legislature to put in another half from general funds. And I'm telling you, that's great if we have lots of money, but when we have a $14 million shortfall at public health, I am still, you know, kind of stuck there. Like, well, where's the money for public health then? Where's that coming from if it's not going to come from our general fund? And it's clearly not coming from ARP now that we've seen the plan. What's the plan for that? And then we have hearings for public health, adoption bills. We have for other things, for public health, sanitary permits. They're going to raise sanitary permit fees at public health because they can't fund inspectors. All right? So this is why it's all very relevant. So people can go spend money however they want. And in the end, it's people of Guam who are going to be facing increased fees because the government did not provide inspectors at public health to go inspect restaurants, you know, karaoke bars, whatever, that we all know we need. You guys have done a million stories on that type of thing. We know we need this. It's so imperative. Yet the only way that this division of public health has seen to be able to increase their staff is through increased fees. And I just think that's outrageous. You know, we need to put our priorities straight here. Anyways, so that's one. The LEAP bill is one. The other bill that is on the agenda is one of many bills that funds huge projects with earned income tax credit money, right? From calendar year 2020. And we had this whole discussion during our budget session. And Remitax said they don't think we're getting EITC reimbursement for calendar year or tax year 2020. We all appropriated the reimbursements for tax year 2021. Okay, so there's no dispute. We're getting 2021 tax year reimbursements and we appropriated that. However, these slew of bills using this, I call it right now, it's just looking phantom to me until somebody can show me, are we really getting this 2020 reimbursement money? Because it looks like Reverend Tax in their initial discussion with Treasury says, no, we're not. My discussion with the congressman, I
Well,
don't
he's
think
having
they are.
he's having a press conference today, I think, to clarify.
I hope he
those
clarifies
issues, yeah.
that, and that is exactly what I'm waiting for because you know, there's a lot of bills and a whole lot of money that they want to appropriate for projects that I think there's no such money. And so, of course, you know, it's I guess senators can put in bills where the money that does not exist, and yet I don't know. I'm just like, I don't like to do that because I don't like to give promises to people that we can't keep, you know, or that it just looks like, you know.
Sus, Speaker. That's what the kids say. It looks sus.
Anyway,
it looks sus.
Come on. So, of course, you know. Anyways, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I got to ask before we.
Let's
Yeah,
just
be
be
honest.
honest.
Sounds
And let's
great.
just be, you know, let's not get hopes up when these are like extra projects. These are not those critical things. These are not critical services, by the way. These are extra projects. So we need to, with the money we have, focus on the critical projects.
So the delay of a session, has that affected at all the oversight on Guam Memorial Hospital?
No, No, that's still going on.
Okay.
That's
And
still
that's
scheduled.
on December.
When is that? 14th? Yeah, 14th. Yes. So that's strictly regarding personnel. It's at 3 p.m. Yeah. And I want to thank you for, the information that you guys were able to obtain through your FOIAs.
Yeah.
It's surprising that the media also has the FOIA, right? So
Yeah.
we're really living in the FOIA days, it looks like. Unfortunately, I just don't understand that. When I first, anyways, I guess
Yeah.
I'll leave out that commentary.
I gotta go give GMH $30 for my FOIA. So
yeah,
when
you
I go
gotta
pay
pay-
for it, I'll slide you a copy.
Yeah.
I might have to charge you though.
Yeah, I don't know if you're
I need to
aware of
make
the
like at least an extra $5 profit.
Yeah, just let everyone know that the agenda, if they want to know what we're going to be talking about in the next session that's coming up on Monday, beginning on Monday, the agenda is online. I also published it in the newspaper, and there are a lot of bills, and that they should take a look at them. One of them is, to extend QCs for hotels, new rooms, and a QC for hotel renovations. That's I think the fiscal note did not give an amount of impact that might have, or which hotels this would affect. But that's one of the proposals on the table. And so the whole agenda is there on the legislature's website. You can see what we're going to be discussing. And as we do that, we should be uploading floor amendments and everything for the public to see as we are discussing. I want to thank you guys also for all your work, and all the people of Guam for their giving on Giving Tuesday, and of course, always. I think it's really, there's such a great need. It's amazing, right? When you see the pictures of all the donations, and yet these service providers still can tell me, thanks for your donation to the Ollie shelter, but we still got a great need over here at Caradat, for the Manamco, right? And things like this. And the need never ends. So I want to thank all the people of Guam for their generosity, and for KUAM's work in that regard as well.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I'm sorry, I just had one question, because we did have Dr. Wynn on the show yesterday, and he was talking about, how these private clinics that have been serving as tier 1, tier 2 clinics, how they have not been reimbursed for any of the services that they provide and continue to provide during this COVID response. Have you heard anything about that?
No, I heard him on the radio talking about that, but you remember this was a big topic early on, right? Whether they were getting paid or not was never clear. And what they would get paid for was never put in writing, at least in all of the oversight hearings that I have had over public health. That's come up. They've never made it clear that they are going to do that. Then they came out with the CARES Act plan, remember, or their expenditure reports for CARES. And so I'm not sure whether they got paid some, and now they're just waiting to get paid more, or that that's my understanding. But look at this. There's a big section here, GRMC, 7 million, right? So that's the problem. I can't justify that with a lack of any more information against, the CARES funding that they might have received versus, the other tier 2 clinics. But that's a concern if that was their understanding. But I have not seen an agreement, right? That I'm able to enforce, or I'm able to, even follow up with. I've asked many times from the clinics and from the public health, but I've not seen one. From the physicians advisory group, I've asked them as well, right? Do you have an agreement with these tier 2 clinics? They said they were, it changed. Sometimes they were volunteer and not sure.
It's interesting, though, that you have the campaign chairman heading GRMC, and it looks like he had a bunch of money. It is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and I attended the hearing recently. I think it was just a congressman and me on this. GIDA's had a public hearing to allow, or to, it was a public hearing prior to the governor's designation of this is a public service or a public benefit, right? Yeah. That the nonprofit is going to purchase the hospital from GRMC. And the questions I asked no one would answer at the hearing, not at all. Santos from GRMC, he was there, former Senator Santos, but he didn't answer the questions. And what I wanted to know as well was, does the change in ownership change the services to the people of Guam? Is it going to impact what we're relying on GRMC is providing? So it's not being provided at GMH necessarily. Remember when they transferred the labor and delivery back over to GMH?
Yeah.
And so just that type of thing. I wanted to know what are the impacts on services that the nonprofit is going to change any of their operational plans, right? Or their health delivery plan. And also I wanted to know who the shareholders were in the nonprofit, or not the shareholders, but the directors. Who is it being run by, and just what their commitment to Guam was, and what their plans for Guam were. I think that's fair. And I wanted to know if the change in ownership also affects like what types of patients they would be able to accept, right? Are they going to change whether they accept Medicaid or MIP, that type of thing? I wanted to see that as well. So I've asked Gita for that information. They said they had no plans in front of them to tell me the information, and then
so they're doing it like they're doing
it after the hearing. GRMC put out a press release, talking about this nonprofit and promising that services are going to be this way or that way. So I'm reading that press release, but I'm also asking Gita to confirm any of this information.
Okay, Speaker.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Take care, you all.
That's right on. 8:31. Let's go ahead and get right into our 8 o'clock newscast, which is brought to you by Pacific Points at 8:30, Thursday, December 2nd.
And before we get to Jason, we brought you that story earlier, the developing story that's happening in the village of Jigo, where the Guam Police Department launched a death investigation after units responded to a report of a man lying on the ground. He was unconscious and unresponsive. Officers from the Dededo precinct had responded to the incident. It was in Jigo. Again, it was early this morning. It was across the Jigo fire station near the Premier Apartments. Highway patrol was activated. It's not clear at this time whether the incident was an auto pedestrian incident or hit and run. Again, we're just waiting for more information from the Guam Police Department, but we do and have confirmed that it is a death investigation.
All right, Tomas Mangolini is coming up with our regional report, but real quick, our island has suffered 3 more COVID-19 related fatalities. Subsequently, we are asking you to offer your prayers for the victims and their families. The 264th death was a 68-year-old woman unvaccinated. The 265th death was a 36-year-old man, likewise unvaccinated, with underlying health conditions. And the 266th COVID-19 related fatality was a 54-year-old woman, also unvaccinated, also with underlying health conditions. 13 people are in the hospital for COVID-19 as of last night, 6 of whom are unvaccinated. The island's CAR score is now 0.6. It's gone down by 1/10 since yesterday. Acting Governor Josh Tenorio says that effective December 6, Guam will be removed from the CDC's COVID-19 travel recommendations by destination and will be considered domestic travel. He says not only is Guam where America's Day begins, but we've continually been a leader in the pandemic response, instituting mandatory quarantine, mask mandates, and proof of vaccination requirements earlier than others. He says we believe this change also recognizes the tremendous progress that Guam has made in recent weeks combating the third surge. Now let's go back to the newsroom where Tyler has your link update.
This news update is brought to you by Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
Buenos and half a day, everyone. I'm Tyler Matsinani with your headlines here on The Link. Guam and the CNMI figure prominently in a major new internal policy document by the Defense Department on the alignment of its global assets. The review will be used to guide national defense strategy going forward, and the findings and recommendations have been approved by President Biden. Nestor Lecanto reports.
The Defense Department held a media briefing on the Global Posture Review that was compiled in consultation with major allies. Acting DoD Deputy Undersecretary for Policy, Dr. Mara Carlin, did not provide detailed information. She cited security reasons and to protect the confidentiality of consultations. But it's clear our region tops the list.
Consistent with the Secretary's focus on China as our pacing challenge, the priority region for the Global Posture Review was the Indo-Pacific. The Global Posture Review directs additional cooperation with allies and partners across the region to advance initiatives that contribute to regional stability and deter potential military aggression from China and threats from North Korea.
She said this includes seeking greater regional access and enhancements for military activities in the Western Pacific.
Actually, more broadly across the Indo-Pacific, you'll see a range of infrastructure improvements in Guam, the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, and Australia. Those will include things more broadly like logistics facilities, fuel storage, munition storage, airfield upgrades. So we're doing a lot that will hopefully come to fruition in the coming years.
Dr. Carlin was pressed by reporters on why Guam and Australia were specifically mentioned and if they were being singled out as the biggest issues to come out of the global review.
Look, I think those were notable, which is why I cited those specifically. But I would, of course, highlight that we're engaged in consultations with our allies and partners across the Indo-Pacific. And while those were just examples of some posture shifts, you are no doubt tracking that we're also enhancing the scope and the scale of our exercises with allies and partners across the region as well.
In sum, she said the review will inform the U.S. approach to the national defense strategy going forward and will determine the Defense Department's ultimate overseas footprint.
The results of the Global Posture Review will serve as a disciplining framework for the department to match our posture to our strategy, with benefits accruing for years to come.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
7 individuals in the CNMI are now hospitalized for COVID-19. NMI leaders are looking into plans to establish a quarantine site on Tinian and Rhoda. Tomas Manglona reports.
There is discussion with the delegation of Tinian currently that we're trying to determine what is the next step in case cases increase, and that's the possibility of having a quarantine site specifically for Tinian, and also consideration to look into is also, a quarantine site for Rhoda.
The CNMI is in its harshest surge yet. Officials urge the community to get vaccinated and self-quarantine if they get tested.
We're working with the federal government to expedite our supply of vaccines.
There are now 7 hospitalizations due to COVID-19, 6 of whom are unvaccinated.
We are seeing our emergency rooms slammed with individuals, coming in with symptoms. And it is overwhelming for us, again, with the surge of the COVID-19.
She says they are looking to expand the capacity of rooms in the hospital. The alternate care site holds about 30 beds. They are working on getting treatment to healthcare workers on Rhoda and Tinian.
Exhausting, disheartening to see more and more patients, especially if they're, having to be able to get severe illnesses because of their status of their vaccination. And so, we all have a responsibility. And again, it's a lot of this is really about behaviors. We want people to understand that first of all, the vaccine is safe and effective.
The COVID-19 task force is expected to release new community guidelines soon. Tomas Manglona for KOAM News, Northern Mariana Islands.
In 2020, there were over 1,000 victims of sexual assault and family violence reported, according to Guam Police Department's Domestic Assault Response Team. Some believe an EQ education program could be the cure to decreasing these numbers. KUM's Hannah Davanzo has this report.
In efforts to decrease the numbers of violence in Micronesia, the Pacific Judicial Council is collaborating with legislative and executive branches of government to create an EQ education program. Dr. Neil Nedley has been commissioned to develop it.
There's a pilot program that's going to be used within the next year at multiple grade levels. And then after that pilot program and we get all the feedback from that, it should be available the year after that. So it's getting close.
Not only will the EQ program be established in schools, but also will be available for the community. We also will have community-based programs available for adults, and the non-school aspect of things, that's normally an 8-week program, a 6 to 8 week program, just once a week for 8 weeks. Where it takes only 2 hours a day of their time.
to improve. And then, of course, for the more severe cases, there is residential possibilities as well.
According to Dr. Neal's findings, culture does play a role in a person's EQ.
Our goal is to bring up the emotional intelligence of Micronesia, and that will help all of the ships, so to speak. And so it'll help families, it'll help our school system, it'll help our medical institutions, it'll help our judicial system, and it'll help us make better decisions overall. So we're hoping that as we enhance the emotional intelligence, we'll have better family life.
Some daily practices known to increase an individual's EQ is getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep, getting aerobic exercise every day, being exposed to sunlight in the morning, and eating more antioxidants. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Hannah Devonzo.
That's it for now. We'll see you tonight for KUM News Primetime.
This news update is brought to you by Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
I'll tell you what, let's go now to Tomas Manglona, who is standing by live. Tomas is, of course, in the CNMI, where he has not only been covering the tension of the political climate up there to our neighbors to the north, he's also been covering what has been an escalatingly, Tomas, alarming pace of the outbreak of coronavirus over there. So again, we send our thoughts and prayers to our neighbors to the north and everything like that. But how are the numbers this morning, and how is the attitude of the people in the CNMI?
Yeah, Jason, we haven't received the latest numbers just yet. As we know, yesterday they have about 43 new cases. That was yesterday. The total case count still remains around 855. We did receive a lot of updates with regards to the search that is happening here in the CNMI. Yesterday, the chief executive officer of the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation told media that there's the possibility of quarantine sites to be established on both Tinian and Rhoda. Of course, this is to avoid having to send all positive cases here to Saipan at either the Canoa Resort or Mariana's Resort. Again, these are just discussions happening. There haven't been any official word or statement yet from the governor's office about Tinian and Rhoda's possible quarantine sites. The chief executive officer, Esther Muñoz, also telling us that the ER is being slammed here on Saipan with people who are walking in presenting with symptoms. We did get a chance to interview the mayor of Rhoda, Ephraim Attilig, and the mayor of Tinian, Edwin Odan, yesterday. They shared with us a little bit of what they'd like to see done. We posted those full interviews on YouTube. But Jason, we wanted to just play a quick clip from our interview with Mayor Aldan Antinian, who provides his thoughts and his message to the community as Tinian identified some of its first community cases in the past week.
So for me, we go back and we continue to urge them to come in and get. It's not only for you, but it's for the community. It's for the healthy community that we're looking at. The health of the community is not personal. When you take it personal, that's more better. For your family. Think of your family. Come in and take your shots. The Tinian and Rhoda and the cinema cannot be exemptions from the rest of the world. This COVID coming over to Tinian and through community is inevitable. It's going to happen. Now it happened.
And did want to share the latest COVID-19 testing information for our listeners on Rhoda and Tinian. If you're on Rhoda, you can get tested for free for COVID-19 Monday to Friday from 1 to 2 or Saturday from 1 to 3 at the Rhoda Health Center. On Tinian, you can get tested at the Tinian Health Center Monday through Friday 1 to 2 or Saturdays from 12:30 to 2:30. Of course, you can always call to make an appointment. And we're also hearing of some possible restrictions soon, some new community guidelines that the CNMI governor is going to release. We were told we would have heard something at least last night. We didn't, but we're expected to hear either today or tomorrow morning at his COVID-19 press briefing that he holds every Friday at 8 o'clock in the morning. Some Tinian residents reaching out to me, messaging me, telling me that they would like to see some sort of restrictions or even a lockdown. As we reported last night in our newscast, Star Marianas has suspended all commercial flights indefinitely to Rota and Tinian, essentially not allowing anyone into those islands, given that they're the only airline. We reached out to Sean Christian of Star Marianas Air, and we hope to have an interview with him today for more information about that. And also last night, as we posted on our Instagram, the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation Board voted not to mandate the vaccine for school children who are eligible. They say that they want to focus instead on a public education campaign. However, they may revisit the issue if vaccinations and the circumstances here in the CNMI don't improve. They did receive several public comments during a 30-day comment period. Some of them were against this mandate, as to be expected. And along that COVID news, the CNMI, as similar with Guam, will be removed from the CDC COVID-19 travel recommendations. And so that's the latest that we're hearing with that. And Governor Torres says that this paves the way for the safe return to a normal tourism for our islands. In a press release, he added, the Marianas is open for business as a tourism destination, and we have a proven track record during this entire COVID-19 response through our travel quarantine protocols. Of course, this news coming amid the surge that we're in, at least in the past month, since the first cases were identified on October 28th. We have about 564 cases since then.
Of course, Tomas, your discussions yesterday with the mayors of Tinian and Rota, mayors Atalig and Aldan, respectively, you can find those on our YouTube channel right now. So and we're seeing the views on them have been pretty good. So there's a lot of people up in the NMI really want to know what's going on, especially given the fact that quarantine facilities being considered on both of those islands.
Yes, and I think one of the things that Mayor Aldan on Tinian really stressed was that he'd like to be able to have his residents who test positive quarantine at home if they're able to. Obviously, as we've been reporting, the alternate care site, the hospital, only exist here on Saipan. So for residents who might not be presenting symptoms or who might be test positive but still be able, not require treatment, he's really hoping that they can stay at home and self-isolate at home. And that's what everyone's waiting for. We have yet to hear from the executive branch in terms of any new protocols or if this will be entertained. Right before we interviewed the Tinian mayor, he said he was about to head into a meeting with the governor and health officials. So we're expected to hear that anytime today or possibly tomorrow morning at their press conference that they hold every week.
All right, real quick, just Tomas, I know because, we've been, with you on these calls and, the mayors of Tinian, Rota, Esther Muñoz, the CEO of the CHCC, they speak a lot again, and I touched on this the other day. They have a very up-tempo, friendly, hospitable tone and everything like that. Like their tone in the last couple of days, noticeably more concerned, and I don't want to say worried. I mean, obviously, like they're trying to put all their ducks in a row and consider all outcomes and everything like that. But I mean, it does seem like it's pretty tense up there.
Right. Yeah. And I don't think you'd be wrong to describe it as worrisome. Yesterday was the first we've heard Esther Muñoz describe the ER as being slammed with people who have symptoms. We did ask, all 4 ICU units at the hospital in Saipan are being used. They want to add at least 2 more rooms. And at the alternate care site at Canoa Resort, there are at least 2 patients there, if I'm correct, and they have the capacity for about 30 beds. And so we know, right, we've been in this, all of us, for, 2 years now. And when you start talking about hospital capacity and being slammed in the ER, it is worrisome. So we're going to see that. I do want to note, though, yesterday we also asked about the monoclonal antibody treatment, and she said that they are going to send those treatments to Tinian and Rota, and they want to train the healthcare workers who are on Tinian and Rota on how to administer that treatment. So that's also another part of it. I think one of the things she continues to emphasize is that the difference between last year and this year is that this year we have the vaccines and the treatment. And so they're planning to expand those to Tinian and Rota so that not everyone has to come to Saipan for help every time they need it.
All right, well done. Well, we know you're out there hustling and trying to get, make sense and cover all these different stories and everything like that. But, of course, it goes without saying, we really wish you stay safe, too.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good day.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
Thank you, Tomas.
And now let's go ahead and get to Chamorro News with Uncle King Conception. It's brought to you by First Hawaiian.
Buenos nowadays to get some to be Chamorro ni KUAM News. Presenta ni Familia Mito gi First Hawaiian Bank. Gagahan natin monoclonal antibody para MAB990 para GCIU minisisita. Esta 988 man matrata no este na amod. 593 man matrata gi Infusion Center gi sa Mangilaw. Sigon si Dr. Luis Cruz, gini National Guard, este na amod. Sa ribabay numero man may spitatat put COVID, san maulig jan seguridad, jagef efektibo. Imazon esta man matrata, sa ma-report na san maulig sa nintiniya gi sa gantidia, dataza na di side effect. Mas lumamaulig jan Libianos Division niya, da siya pagong marekonosi sa ludi tao-tao siya, pero maatahay DOA. Masikro sa sangan na 680 na amot MAB sop lagi isla. At sa teman malago maamti na makonsideran 3 kilo na riskaw siya na taw-tawi sa seso man maagang kasi 5 kadadiha man matratrata. Masasunto, maaresta niyo polisiya gini Port si Gregory San Agustin, 28 anos na edad, sa punmansustete ni Boneno. Masusedi esti anti di las 8 gigan matis, ano un oficial polisia rekonono si lugar siya gifyon ni Port Beach. Karipare oficial kareta, jan taw-taw siya gisan halom, ano rekono si kareta, manada ang kristal na tubo, nugay rastron Boneno, jan ang plastic na bagyan sa ganini si crystal methamphetamine. Mabog si San Agustin na maatsaki, pun mangangat ga Boneno, pas masurta. Ito muna sunto gifinut sa morgan ni KUAM News para pago na Merkules, yung residente ni Isla siya ni mamanispipet sa Otsonias sa DBU fan listo dyan ni Zonya Digital na resume para di siya mamanispipet empleyaw na business siya. I-career development na opisina gini Universidad Guahan sa makumbibida siya estudyante ni UOG dyan ni community law para online internship and job fair no mamemento. Imanitirisaw sa sinamanali sa mangwentas ng taw-taw American Job Center, Bank Pacific, DZSP21, GTA sa notusihan na business. I-online employer recruitment sa maschedule para Webes desde las 10 geegan hasta las 2 gitaloani. Debilo ko imanitirisaw doon na listo siya para may entrevista in Sigida Squihi. Para mas informasyon, agang isay 71-735-2233 per email career.development@triton.uog.edu. Para Guam News Network, Gwalsikin Conception. Yasuto gifinut sa moro sa presenta sa ninafatto ni Familia Mizo gi First Hawaiian Bank.
Say hello to the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app. Got a question about your finances? You've come to the right place. Bring all your accounts together, even those that aren't with us, and see the big picture, right down to the smallest detail. Unlock powerful tools like Insights and Money Map that help you save time and take control of your finances. When you connect accounts with the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app, it all starts with yes.
The relationship between Guam and Manila, Philippines is undeniable as we share similar cultural traditions, history, and heritage. With generations of Filipinos calling Guam home, KUAM presents a monthly look at the capital city, featuring in-depth and engaging interviews on everything from medical tourism to new business and government leaders. Veteran newscaster Nestor Lecanto delivers Beyond Our Borders. This special program is brought to you by KFC. GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
Do you feel like you're missing out on something? Make life more rewarding with Pacific Points. Earn and redeem points for bill rebates and free load at IT&E, discounts on fuel at Shell, vouchers at Foodies, and United Mileage Plus miles. You can even pay with Pacific Points at IT&E, Shell, and Foodies. Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape Superstore. Stop on by and visit our showroom today. We offer everyday low prices on all major outdoor power equipment like bush cutter, chainsaw, power washer, generators, and more. Need service, repair, maintenance? Well, check out Guam's best superstore only at Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape, located in Barragata along Army Drive between Submarina and Besta Market. Call 735-7446 for more information. Now shipping to surrounding islands. Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape Superstore.
Get the job done the right way by getting the right stuff at East West Rental Center. With years of experience helping builders, we definitely got what you need. Call 646-1463 or visit us in Upper Tumon. Open Monday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Sundays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Today,
My name is Michelle Caddy Perez here at GTA. I'm the Community Relations Manager. This Giving Tuesday, up until the end of the year, we are supporting 5 local nonprofit organizations to include Erica's House, Make-A-Wish Foundation, Special Olympics, Guam Animals in Need, and Rainbows for All Children. Donate $5 and GTA will match it this year. Also get a chance to win an iPhone 13 on us every single week. Visit our stores for more information, and happy Giving Tuesday, everybody!
Half a day. This is Governor Lou Leon Guerrero. If you're struggling to pay rent and utilities because of the pandemic, your government can help. Our Emergency Rental Assistance Program provides direct relief to you. To date, over $6.9 million has helped over 1,500 households.
Apply online at eoa.guam.gov or call the Department of Administration's Emergency Rental Assistance Program at 671-638-4518 or 19.
It's time to save on shipping. Support our local entrepreneurs. Find the best steals, deals, and unique products for your holiday shopping needs. The Christmas Pops virtual holiday marketplace is your hub for the best local gifts. Watch the Christmas Pops special airing through December 11th and streaming now across the stations and platforms of KUAM Communications. Visit KUAMChristmasPops.com and be on the lookout for local business profiles on our social media pages. Shop small and support local this holiday season.
Presented by UOG School of Business and Public Administration, JA Guam, inspiring youth, and the Guam Visitors Bureau, making Guam a better place to live, work, and visit.
Dashing through the snow in the one-horse open sleigh. Over the hills we go, laughing on the way. There's some about to speak, making spirit bright. What a fun it is to ride and sing, singing songs in the night. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Yeah. Jingle bells, oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Oh, yeah. Mix, late. Love these guys, man. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Jason Salas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Sabrina Salas Mantanani and Lady in Red.
Merry Christmas.
Right on. Okay, so 671-637-0094. That's the number. It's time now to tell us who you count on. Go ahead and call, guys. It works so simply. You're going to call, we're going to put you on the air, and you're going to tell us who in your life you can count on and why. And Jason, this is all part of course, the big Count on You Calvo's Insurance giveaway. So tell us what's up for grabs today.
Okay, so Calvo's, of course, celebrating the people that we can count on in good times and bad. And giving away today, as Chris said, remember, you got to dial 671. But we are going to give you some coffee from the 808.
Oh, brother.
Honolulu Coffee
Oh,
Company.
I got an 808 coffee, brother.
You like to drink the kind?
I like drink the kind, brother. Put a little bit honey, brother. A little bit milk. Oh, yeah, bro.
Oh, that sounds good, actually.
Let's stay grinding the coffee beans.
And if you enjoy Honolulu Coffee Company, and who doesn't, because it's delicious, we'll give you $25 gift certificate to win you over or indulge your passion. $25 at Honolulu Coffee Company goes a long way. Yeah. And, as we always do, $25 worth of Shell gasoline to get you there.
Nice. So
Also coming up later on the show.
Jay, you got coffee, you got the gas.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's for this one. We're doing this giveaway 3 times today. Okay?
3 times today.
So let's go ahead and take care of the first time here. 671-637-0094. Again, that's the number. Good morning. Welcome to the link. What's your name?
Buenas. My name is Ed. Eddie Dennis. Yeah.
Eddie Dennis. Well, Eddie,
Yeah.
Ed, is it Ed or Eddie, or what do you want us to call you?
Ed. Ed is
okay.
fine. Ed is fine.
Okay, Ed. Well, good morning. How's your day going so far, sir?
Man, you know what, man? Hey, bonito tutu, man. Bonito tutu. It's so beautiful, man. You know, I've been watching you guys, and yeah, I mean, what could I ask for? Way to start my day with the link, man.
Thank you.
Wow, that was a lot of points right there. You just won the day. That's it. So we're doing this Calvo's Insurance Count on You giveaway contest, Ed. So I know you got a lot of people in your life that you can probably count on, but we just want to hear about just one. So who can you count on and why?
Man, my one person that I can count on is my mom, man. My mom. That she'll never let me down. Man, she always there for me. Like any time of the day when, me and my I love you, babe, my SO, my significant other, don't see eye to eye, and it's like 10 o'clock at night, call mom, just, mom, I'll be over, So, yeah, mom, ugwaizao, and mas kini tatatao. I love you more than my body, mom. Okay.
Wow. What's your mom's name?
Her name is
just the first name if you don't want to put it out.
Therese. Annie.
Therese.
Her name's Annie. Yeah. Annie Therese.
What village?
She's from Barragada.
Wow.
Canada.
The love handles of Guam. Got it. Well, that's great. If your mom's listening, I'm pretty sure she's very proud of her boy.
And you raised a good son, Auntie Therese, if he shows love to mom.
And he's always got a spot on mom's couch.
Viva.
Viva, viva, Mariana. That's it. Uno it. That's it. Hold on, Mr. Ed. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Ooh. Oh, sorry, Ed. I accidentally hung up on you.
Eddie, call back, please.
Call back, Ed.
You got so excited.
Yeah, I know. And we're gonna be giving this, giving away this giveaway.
Right.
Two more times before the end of the show.
And hopefully Chris doesn't give away the next caller.
and don't forget to go to calvos.com because this is just the tip of the iceberg. Person you nominate, you can be eligible to win several different grand prizes. There's 3. The first one is the hotel stay over at the Lotte Hotel. That's for the person that's nominated, but for the person that nominates the winner, you also get $300 worth of Lone Star gift certificates.
Wow.
Then grand prize 2, and 3, actually, you could win $1,000 Payless shopping spree for the person you can count on. And I don't think so.
That's what I said when you were on vacation. I was like, I was like, are KUM employees eligible? She goes, I'm pretty sure not. And I was like, I quit.
That's it.
And then I'm going to come back on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So it's $1,000 for the person that's nominated, and then you have to do the shopping within 3 minutes.
Okay, so you got 3 minutes.
180 seconds.
$1,000 shopping spree at Payless. So if you fill the cart up with $1,000, then you get to keep it.
Right, and then the person who actually did the nominating, you get $250 Payless gift certificates
and you can take your time.
$250 Shell gas station.
Right. Yeah. Wow, that's awesome.
So go to calvos.com.
I really want to be on a shopping spree. Doesn't that sound so fun when you see them? Yeah. God.
That's a lot of pressure too. I mean, you never
it's
really
not.
realize.
There's no pressure because we figured it out for you guys.
Okay, and you know what you want to do is you want to make sure. Okay, this is pro level stuff. All right, between Chris and Joser and
also
Sabrina.
Ed, tell a call back, fan, because I disconnected you. So call back 671-637-0094.
When you make sure you go around the supermarket.
Yeah.
You want to test out the cart first. Make sure that the cart doesn't have that one wheel that always
make sure the alignment's good.
Yeah, alignment. Thank you. Yeah, it'll slow you down. So do some squats first. Make sure that you're ready to go. We really want to see that.
Do some squats.
Okay, thanks.
All right, thanks, Jay. Thank you, my friend. That's my friend Jason Solis. It's his show.
Yep. So glad to be here.
Man,
appreciate it.
So humbled that you'd have me on this thing with you.
I can't wait to get to our next interview.
Yeah, we are going
I'm
to get.
Basically, trying to cut you off from embarrassing me. You're embarrassing me.
We're going to take a break, and that next interview is coming up right here on the link. Good morning.
It's time to save on shipping. Support our local entrepreneurs. Find the best steals, deals, and unique products for your holiday shopping needs. The Christmas Pops virtual holiday marketplace is your hub for the best local gifts. Watch the Christmas Pops special airing through December 11th and streaming now across the stations and platforms of KUAM Communications. Visit KUAMChristmasPops.com and be on the lookout for local business profiles on our social media pages. Shop small and support local this holiday season.
Presented by UOG School of Business and Public Administration, JA Guam, inspiring youth, and the Guam Visitors Bureau, making Guam a better place to live, work, and visit.
Hafa Day. This is Therese Terlahi, Speaker of the 36th Guam Legislature.
I ask you on this Giving Tuesday to assist the Ollie Women's Shelter and the Ollie Children's Shelter with supplies such as hygiene products, diapers, and other necessities. Family violence is the top offense charged on Guam in 2020 and 2021, according to the judiciary of Guam's annual reports. Guam has the second highest number of sexual assaults per capita in the nation. And our 2020 statistics indicate that out of 73 sexual assault cases reported, 50 involve minors. Let's together ensure that women and children have a safe place to escape the abuse and begin their new lives. Your donation to the Ollie Children and Women's Shelters will bring hope to these survivors and improve their quality of life. Please contact the Catholic Social Services for more information and Sidzulas Maasi.
KUAM's multi-platform morning show, The Link, just got a little more delicious with Feed Me Fridays. Chris, Sabrina, Jason, and the rest of the morning crew will take some time off each Friday to talk, taste, and tempt you with all the latest and greatest food and drinks on Guam. Old faves, new hits, and everything else we can put in our bellies. It's Feed Me Fridays on The Link. Brought to you by King's Restaurants, Ruby Tuesday Guam, and Devondale. Real milk from free grazing cows.
Welcome back to The Link, everybody, and I have three incredibly wonderful words for you that are really going to get you into the holiday spirit. Electric Winter Wonderland. That's actually a phrase, and it's happening this holiday season. It's going to happen downtown. You and your family are really going to be blown away from what our friends have prepared for you, installed for you, gotten ready for you so that you can really celebrate the holiday spirit the safe and responsible island way. Our friend Ina Carrillo is here, and Ina is a integral part of doing this. Ina, happy holidays and welcome to the show.
Happy holidays. Thanks for inviting me.
Okay, thanks for giving us some of your time, because I know these days with this project you got going on, there's not a lot of it. So let's go ahead and get right into exactly how did you guys come up with the concept of Electric Winter Wonderland?
Well, I think the first thing we wanted to do was, in light of COVID, right? We wanted to create a safe holiday event for the people that, that we could follow COVID restrictions and just be safe, right? So, the first thing that came to thought was do something outdoor. Traditionally, we've used Skinner Plaza, so we wanted to see how we could transform the plaza to something that would be, allow the people of Guam to celebrate this holiday season. So, one of our lighting vendor, he had been setting up on this not new, but some lighting projects that were happening around the States, and he thought that, hey, why not? We can bring it here to Guam. Mm-hmm. And so, it wasn't a cheap feat, right? So we really had to get the ball rolling and work with our community sponsors to get this thing funded, and we did. So thanks to all the businesses that supported, we were able to pull it off, and I'm really glad and I'm excited to see the show tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what can people expect to experience, and as far as the impact, the theme, and because obviously this is going to be something that the Guamanians, young and old, will really take something away from.
Yes, I think it's something that people from all demographics will be able to come and enjoy. Grandparents and parents and kids can all come to the park and spend a few minutes and really enjoy the holiday season and enjoy the light show. You'll see we tried to be as we wanted to use all of the Christmas decorations that we had got for 2019 Christmas festival, and so we've incorporated that into the show as well. So you'll see all those giant ornaments and big Santa Maria and Camalan. That will be at the park for sure. In addition, we're adding to that with additional lights. So you'll see pixelated trees. It's going to be an interactive experience. So you'll be able to walk through the park during the show and experience the lights. And then we have this awesome soundtrack. So it'll be very interactive. I think people will enjoy it. My favorite part is it's going to be like a light tunnel leading to like the big giant Christmas tree. And so once that's all lit, it's going to be a nice experience. I just can imagine all the pictures people are going to take.
Exactly. Thank you for bringing up the picture aspect, because we want to tell people all over Guam that are getting ready to do this and participate and go down and experience the electric winter wonderland, make sure you charge your phones because this place is selfie heaven.
Yeah, maybe they can take pictures and tag you guys as one of our major sponsors.
Thank you. Okay, is there a hashtag that you're recommending people use?
We haven't done that yet. Maybe you guys can come up with it.
Okay.
We haven't done.
I was gonna say electric. We could make an acronym out of Electric Winter Wonderland, but people putting EWW, I don't think that's gonna work. So why don't they just put hashtag Electric Winter Wonderland? We'll be on the safe side.
That works too. Ill Christmas and sanitize your hands.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, that works. Well, on Instagram you can put up to 30 hashtags. So go crazy with this.
Yeah. I mean, everything will be running off of the governor's Facebook page. So, I mean, you're welcome to have at it and do whatever you want. You guys are one of our biggest sponsors, so we'll let you run with that.
All right. Well, it's our pleasure to be involved with this, and and we've worked with you on enough projects over the years to know that you always bring a sense of creativity. You have a really good sense of our island tradition, and then you also incorporate new concepts and everything like that. So we've got traditional Santa and the elves and the North Pole and all that, and then we've got the Belen, and like you said, Santa Maria and Camelin is there. But what are some of the other elements that you've kind of worked in to make this appealing to all different people from all walks of life?
All of the ornaments are local. They're they have a local island feel, right? So we have all of those that are going to be lit up. In addition, the music soundtrack, we try to add a little cultural aspect to it. There is a couple Chamorro songs into the soundtrack, and then it has such a groovy vibe. It's I don't want to give too much away, but it's really cool.
Exactly.
And I think it has something for all demographics, like a little bit of a disco type with a little jazz and R&B kind of. It's a really cool story to listen to.
Nice.
I don't want to give too much away, but it is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I can just talk about the nights of the show. So the Skinner Plaza will be lit up every day of the week, right? But the show will only be from Thursdays to Sundays, and it'll be every half hour starting at 6 o'clock to about 9:30. So we invite everyone to come down tonight at about 6:30. I think tonight's show starts at 6:30. We weren't sure about when the sunset would happen, so we just made it at 6:30. And then, if you don't mind, I have a big list of sponsors I'd like to shout out.
Sure.
Okay, cool. So Electric Winter Wonderland, of course, is presented by the Office of the Governor, the Guam Museum Foundation, Guam Visitors Bureau, GIDA, PBS Guam, and the businesses of the Port User Group. In addition, Bank of Guam and KUAM. Our gold sponsors are Cabos Insurance, Guam Daily Post. Silver sponsors are GTA, Community Corporation, and our bronze sponsors are GFS Group, Guam Premier Outlets, Post 360, AM Insurance, Black Construction, Cherry Vision, and University of Guam Centers for Island Sustainability, Guam Ecosystems Collaboratorium, and for Corals and Oceans, UOGC Grant, and Guam Green Growth. And with that said, I invite everyone to come down at 6:30. We also ask you to practice your COVID mitigation, right? Wash your hands, sanitize your hands, wear a mask, even though we're outdoors, just because people will be congregating.
Yeah, bring your own hand sanitizer, guys. Get that little one that you can hook onto your belt and everything like that. Share it with the kids, and get them in the habit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think
And although this is a new thing, it's a new format. I know. Of course, last year there was a wonderful Christmas display, which was kind of like drive past. And as you said, this one's a lot more directly interactive. The intent is for you and your loved one to spend maybe a few minutes, take the tour. Take a bunch of pictures, get it on social media. Let's get it trending. But hopefully, this is going to be a island holiday tradition that lasts for far more years, and we're going to be able to tell our children about this.
Oh, sure. Yes, I bet. I hope so. I mean, we the plan is to add on every single year. So hopefully this thing will grow, and we can get sponsors to take on certain aspects of the park. But anyway, yes, we do hope that this will be sustainable, and that it will just keep growing every year.
Very good. And how long does the show go until throughout the Christmas season?
Well, because of the weather really hampered us this week. So we were hoping to produce the full show, but because of safety issues, I think we're gonna have half the show tonight.
Okay.
And so what the plan is we're just gonna keep adding day by day until it's fully executed. But right now, I mean, just with the rain and everything, it just wasn't safe for guys to be installing like electric wiring. So they're about 50% done.
Okay, well,
But
if the sunset is half of even as gorgeous as what the sunrise this morning here, I mean, you guys are in for like an amazing. You got the backdrop, you got the tunnel, you got everything going on. So I can't wait.
We were all up at 5 a.m. saying the rosary. So,
And it's going to be especially valuable like next Wednesday, of course, when Santa Maria and Camelin Day is, and, you know, like giving extra meaning to that. So I know you got to run. You're actually heading down to Skinner Plaza right now to put some final touches on it. But, you know, best of luck. Thank you for sharing it with us, and we'd love to have you back.
okay.
Come back on the show from Skinner Plaza like in the next couple days and everything. We'd love to see how it's going.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yes, that sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you, Ina.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Happy holidays.
Thank you so much.
Okay, there you go. 9:14. Hey, we're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna do another giveaway with Calvo's Insurance. Count on you. Also, Cello Ed, if you're out there, and just to be specific, it's Cello Ed. His mom is Auntie Ann Therese. Is what you say?
Yeah, Therese, or she's known as Annie.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So,
and we're not giving you Ed. That's your prize.
that's for you. Yeah. So 671-637-0094. And also, if there's someone that you count on in your life that you want to tell us about, and you want to win cool prizes, courtesy Calvo's Insurance, go ahead and get ready to call 671-637-0094. We're taking a quick break. Wow. I'm about to play a commercial for a New Year's Eve event. That's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yep. There's a new year coming, Jay. Yep. Cue the new year, new me posts. Yeah, it's 9:15 on the link. Good morning.
2022. It's time to save on shipping. Support our local entrepreneurs. Find the best deals, and unique products for your holiday shopping needs. The Christmas Pops virtual holiday marketplace is your hub for the best local gifts. Watch the Christmas Pops special airing through December 11th and streaming now across the stations and platforms of KOAM Communications. Visit KOAMChristmasPops.com and be on the lookout for local business profiles on our social media pages. Shop small and support local this holiday season.
Presented by UOG School of Business and Public Administration, JA Guam, inspiring youth, and the Guam Visitors Bureau, making Guam a better place to live, work, and visit.
Hoffaday, I'm Senator Joe S. Augustine. Giving Tuesday is our chance to be part of a beautiful tradition fostering goodwill and charity within our communities. As a member of the Goodwill and Spirit Association of Jigo, Our Lady of Lourdes Church, Heritage Choir, the Veterans, Legends, Regulators, and Harley Owners Group Motorcycle Clubs, Charleston Lodge 44, the Dumbledore Lux International Fraternities, and the Boston Laguna Association, I am humbled by our contribution of wheelchairs and care packages to individuals and families in need, and nonprofit organizations who bring hope for Guam's families. As we celebrate this season of giving, let's continue to support these organizations and each other through prayer and caring for those in need. May God's light of hope continue to shine on our island and people. God bless you, and Sizuz Masi.
This season, KUAM Communications is ready to go with more games, more championships, and more sports specials guaranteed to bring out the fan in you. Don't miss a minute of gameplay from NBC on KUAM TV 8 or from CBS on KUAM TV 11. We're bringing you all the action and excitement brought to you locally by Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape and Dokumu Pacific. Catch Sports Link on the KUAM News Morning Show, The Link, every Friday for the latest sports news, game schedules, athlete profiles, and more. Sports Link airs every Friday across the multi-platforms of KUAM. Tune in to the broadcast on Breeze 93.9 FM, on KUAM TV 11, live stream through the KUAM News Facebook page, or view highlights on YouTube, KUAM News Facebook, and Instagram page. Sports Link is brought to you by Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape.
Let's get merry during the most wonderful time of the year by making spirits bright. KUAM Communications and Coast 360 want to highlight your decorations and lights by flooding the social media pages of KUAM with your videos and photos. Finish your holiday setup, snap a few shots or video of your delightful display, and send it to us through social media or email them to promotions@KUAM.com. Check out our posts every Friday or tune in to KUAM News Weekend Edition for a special montage of the submissions, certain to be making spirits bright with every broadcast. Warmest holiday wishes from KUAM Communications and Coast 360 Federal Credit Union. Together, we thrive.
Bells will be ringing. Say sad news. Oh, what a Christmas. Two had the blues. My baby's gone. I have no friends to wish me greetings once again. Choirs will be singing silent night.
Man, guys, I know it's the holidays, but I'm buying on my rent on my utilities. About to get cut, and I just wish there was some way there was help for someone like me.
There is.
What?
Have you heard of the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, perhaps?
No, what's that?
Yeah, it's a program that the government is actually providing, and if you have experienced difficulty, loss of wages, or you had to be evicted from your home, or you had to move for whatever reason, if you have trouble paying your utilities like you did, or not just the rent that you've got right now, but what they call rent in arrears, and you've actually got bills stacked up, this program is here to help you out.
Jay, but I know, actually I remember now the program we're talking about, the
Yeah, we've
emergency
been
rent.
mentioning it all week.
Yeah, but I applied to it the first time around, and they said I was ineligible. So should I even bother applying again?
No, you should, because this actually, it's been extended. You could receive up to 12 months of assistance. So that's a lot. Now remember, I said if you're in arrears and you've got like a whole stack of bills, and just that everybody's going through some rough stuff and everything, up to a year of assistance. And this, if you have had trouble all the way back to March 3rd of last year.
Of 2020?
Of 2020.
Yeah.
So it's not just like, within like since PUA ended.
Yeah.
This goes all the way back.
No, that sounds great, Jay, but I mean, it really like backs up against the wall. I've only got a few days, and I'm pretty sure when you put in the application, it probably takes forever for them to even review it.
About 5 business days, actually.
Yeah. I better get it in. How do I get a hold of these people?
Okay, you can go to doa.guam.gov. And we are really doing a great audition for infomercials in the future. So go to DOA. Yeah, you can also call. Their number is 671-638. That's a new prefix here on Guam. 638-4518 or 4519. That's our friends at the Department of Administration.
Right.
Now, doa.guam.gov.
And you have to call between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m., Monday through Friday.
There's a lot of people that this covers and everything. And it's not like one of those things, it's like a race for a bunch of like only the first 10 people like qualify and everything.
So it's not like the all race, or that. So I can. There's a lot of money. Put in my app. 5 days. Got it. Thank you guys.
If you
just made my
qualify,
day.
and you probably do, given your situation and everything like that, give them a call and they'll help you out.
Okay, guys. So that's emergency rental assistance. It's 9:21. I'm so glad I can count on the ERA.
And as a baseball pitcher, your ERA it's better if it's low.
I was trying to do the count on the ERA and then seg into the count on. Yeah.
I can count on you for having rather awkward segues. But who can you count on out there during really
It's your show, bro. I'm just here to
during times when everything's going smoothly.
Yeah.
And during times when when
it's a little rough.
When broadcasters with 80 years of broadcast experience between them can't figure out how to get from one
90 years,
to another.
90 years, bro. KUAM is proud to present, along with our friends at Calvo's, the Calvo's Count on Us for Life giveaway. We've done it twice already today, right, Jay? And
this is the second time.
Oh, this is the second time.
Yeah.
Sorry,
because we're still waiting for Ed to call up and let us know his information. So Ed, if you guys know Ed, if you guys know Auntie Therese or
Auntie
Annie, please let him know, because
we don't have much to go on with Ed. We just know that his name was Ed, and that sometimes he fights with his chick, and he goes over to his mom's house at night.
Yeah.
Which probably describes a lot of people, but not all of them are named Ed. So there you go. Okay, so 671-637.
So Mom is the great mediator.
Yes, 0094. That's the number to call. Jay, when they call up and they tell us who they can count on in life, they're going to win something, right?
They are, and now we are giving away. So Ed won $25 from Honolulu Coffee Company and $25 from Shell. Our next caller who calls 671-637-0094 is also going to get $25 from Shell, and they're also getting $35 in a gift certificate to Roots Hill Grill House.
Woo!
Roots with a Z.
Yeah, it's with a Z.
So it's cool.
Yeah, they have great steak there.
And tell us about that. Like, I've never eaten there myself, but
What Bree has.
I went there I only got to go there one time, and it was pre-COVID, and it was bomb.
Yeah.
Like you said, the steak, everything was just so good.
Ooh, that sounds good.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, 671-637-0094. That's the number you call. Call now and tell us who you count on in your life. We've had some really great responses, Jay.
And you know what? If you want to go down to Roots Hills Grill House and then go check out the Electric Winter Wonderland, that's a great night. And we're also giving you enough gas to do the whole round trip.
Yes.
Yep. And also don't forget, you can win the grand prizes. The person that's nominated can win a grand prize, and there's 3 different ones. There's the family staycation for 2 nights at the Loti Hotel, meals included. Then the person that actually did the nomination, they could win $300 worth of Lone Star gift certificates. The grand prize 2 and 3, they're $1,000 Payless shopping spree for the person you can count on. The winner must complete the shopping spree at Payless Supermarket within 3 minutes. And it's up to $1,000 worth of items. And then the person who nominated the winner gets $250 in Payless gift certificates and $250 in Shell gas certificates.
Wow, and we've had some really cool responses. A lot of it family, right?
Yeah.
We did have that one. Remember that lady called up and she just wanted to talk about her Nino?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was so cute. Let's go get a winner now. 671-637-0094. So easy to win. All you got to do is tell us who you count on in life and why. Welcome to the link. Who's this? Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
Josephina Dado.
Hi.
Good
Hi,
morning.
Josephina.
Yes.
Happy holidays.
Welcome to the Jason Solis Show. So we're doing a contest here, Josephina, and we want to ask you, who do you count on in life and why?
I count on my life with my daughter, Willie Jo.
Why do you count on her?
She's always very helpful to me whenever I have a problem, financially, emotionally. Even though she had 3 children, she still helped me. She loves me very much.
And how old is she, ma'am?
25.
Wow.
What's her name again? Whitley Joe?
Willie Jo, yes.
Willie Jo.
Willie Joe. Willie Joe.
She's a girl.
She's a girl. That's awesome.
My husband and my name.
You have any other children?
Yes, Erica.
Okay, but Willie Joe's the
Willie
Karita,
Joe's
right?
the Karita, right?
Yes.
Erica, you had to step up your game wherever you're at.
They better not be listening now.
Erica right now is like, what am I, chopped liver?
Incoming WhatsApp message to the family chat. Hey, wow. No, that's a wonderful story, and certainly we know all of your children and grandchildren. We can see where they get it from.
They get it from their mama.
Because I told she has 3 children and Erica has 1, so I have 4 grands.
Oh, okay.
But
well,
you raised
congratulations.
them well.
Yeah. Erica, you got to get moving on those kids. That's what it is that your sister's giving your mom more grandkids, and so that's why her status is up there, right?
Erica, go to Calvos.com and register.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
I'm in trouble now with Erica.
No, you're not. You're okay. You're all right.
Yeah. Well, Josephina, does your family like a really, really good barbecue from the grill?
No, her family doesn't like really, really good barbecue.
They do. Angel's boyfriend is a chamorro. He likes to barbecue.
Smart lady.
Well, this is a extra special Christmas because we have $35 in gift certificates for you to Roots Hills Grill's House and $25 in gasoline from Shell.
Oh, wow.
All for you.
Yes, thank you.
But make sure to go, though, to Calvos.com and register for the grand prizes.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah. You know what one of the grand prizes is, ma'am? One of the grand prizes is a $1,000 shopping spree at Payless. And so you get, how long is it, Bree? 3 minutes?
It's 3 minutes to shop for about $1,000 worth of items.
So if you fill the cart with $1,000 worth of stuff in 3 minutes, then you get to keep it.
Oh, wow. I love that.
Right. So which part of Payless would you go to? Because we're trying to debate like what strategy we would have if we won this thing.
I have to check first the playlist, which one are the expensive items.
Smart lady. Got to do your advanced research.
We're talking to a real pro here. Yeah.
Well, that's
Joe Sir said this is Recon. This is Recon Supermarket.
Yeah, send Erica to make some points.
Oh, wait. Who can go to? If I win, who can go? I have to go. I can.
You got to enter at Cabos.com
So
first.
Erica has to whoever is the person that is nominated, right, and wins. So they get the $1,000. But the person who actually does the nominating, say if Erica nominates you, then she also gets $250 Payless. And $250.
I can nominate anybody from my relatives, right? Not
Yeah, person you can count on.
Yeah.
And then whoever, if that person wins, then they get the $1,000 shopping spree. But you would get a $250 gift certificate.
Oh, but we all have Select Care, even Erica and
That's great. Thank you.
Select Care.
I have it too.
Calvo Select Care, yes.
All right, well, go.
So go enter.
Go.
But hang on first because you already won today, so we're going to get your info. So just hold on the line and don't hang up, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
don't hang up, and we'll try to make sure Chris doesn't hang up on you.
Yeah, sorry.
Merry Christmas.
Wow. Pretty snarky today, Jay.
Well, it is my show, so
I know, you do what you want, bro. It's 9:30. We're going to take a quick break, and we're coming back with more of the link next.
KUAM Digital presents a
Half a
series
day.
highlighting the...
This is Governor Lou Leon Guerrero. If you're struggling to pay rent and utilities because of the pandemic, your government can help. Our Emergency Rental Assistance Program provides direct relief to you. To date, over $6.9 million has helped over 1,500 households.
Apply online at eoa.guam.gov or call the Department of Administration's Emergency Rental Assistance Program at 671-638-4518 or 19.
The relationship between Guam and Manila, Philippines is undeniable as we share similar cultural traditions, history, and heritage. With generations of Filipinos calling Guam home, KUAM presents a monthly look at the capital city, featuring in-depth and engaging interviews on everything from medical tourism to new business and government leaders. Veteran newscaster Nestor Lecanto delivers Beyond Our Borders. This special program is brought to you by KFC. GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
Do you feel like you're missing out on something? Make life more rewarding with Pacific Points. Earn and redeem points for bill rebates and free load at IT&E, discounts on fuel at Shell, vouchers at Foodies, and United Mileage Plus miles. You can even pay with Pacific Points at IT&E, Shell, and Foodies. Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape Superstore. Stop on by and visit our showroom today. We offer everyday low prices on all major outdoor power equipment like bush cutter, chainsaw, power washer, generators, and more. Need service, repair, maintenance? Well, check out Guam's best superstore only at Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape, located in Barragata along Army Drive between Submarina and Besta Market. Call 735-7446 for more information. Now shipping to surrounding islands. Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape Superstore.
Get the job done the right way by getting the right stuff at East West Rental Center. With years of experience helping builders, we definitely got what you need. Call 646-1463 or visit us in Upper Tumon. Open Monday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Sundays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Say hello to the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app. Want a better look at your spending? With Money Map, you can automatically create budgets and manage where your money is going. Know when you have a green light or when it's time to slow down. Maybe cook more meals at home this week. Set your goals, track your progress, and find your way to exactly where you want to be. With Money Map from the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app. It all starts with yes.
Half a day. My name is Michelle Caddy Perez here at GTA. I'm the Community Relations Manager. This Giving Tuesday, up until the end of the year, we are supporting 5 local nonprofit organizations to include Erica's House, Make-A-Wish Foundation, Special Olympics, Guam Animals in Need, and Rainbows for All Children. Donate $5 and GT will match it this year. Also get a chance to win an iPhone 13 on us every single week. Visit our stores for more information, and happy Giving Tuesday, everybody!
Listen, watch, and learn from the daily Tomorrow News updates from KUAM News. Catch them on The Link during the 8 o'clock hour, streaming online on Isla Radio, or on the KUAM News YouTube channel for your convenience. Tune in and stay informed, all while preserving our precious culture through the daily use of our native Chamorro language. Tomorrow News updates are brought to you by your familia at First Hawaiian Bank.
KUAM Communications continues our perpetuation of our Chamorro culture, language, and heritage, with features available to our listening and viewing audience, including streaming of Chamorro music 24 hours per day on Isla Digital Radio on KUAM.com and the KUAM News app. Chamorro News Update, weekdays on The Link and the KUAM News YouTube channel. Conversations about life in our Chamorro language podcast, Cuentos Tapoco, with Kin Conception. Seasonal specials, shows, and other features highlighting the beauty of our language, culture, and history. It's a new era of our continued commitment to our Chamorro heritage. Isla, watch, listen, stream. Viva Isla!
Looking for TV schedules, upcoming sports, or special presentations, or what you may have missed over the busy week you had? Well, look no further than KUAM Digital Digest. This weekly emailed newsletter puts all kinds of information in the hands of subscribers each and every week. Just subscribe and we will make sure you keep up with your favorites and stay informed and entertained throughout it all. Go to KUAM.com, click on the newsletter tab, give us your email address, and you are all set. Brought to you in digital partnership with King's Restaurant and Ruby Tuesday Guam. It's the KUAM Digital Digest, your weekly guide to the latest information and best entertainment on the stations and platforms of KUAM.
We are wrapping up this episode of The Link. Remember, there is a special press conference with Congressman Michael Nicholas coming up at the top of the hour, 10 o'clock. We're going to live stream that right here on our Facebook timeline for you. But as for the current moment, you know, this week was Giving Tuesday, a day that we here at Team KUAM are always looking forward to. And our friends at GTA, you know, I mean, they're really, really good with the telecom, with the technology, and they go extra. And they have extended that long history of caring because they are doing Giving Tuesday every Tuesday. So we are going around the calendar. So I have Marian Pasqua from GTA to join me right now and talk about this. Marian, happy holidays and good morning.
Yes, happy day, everyone. Happy holidays. Good morning.
And thank you for actually extending Giving Tuesday, because why should it only be one Tuesday, right?
We completely agree. And, you know, we are very excited about this campaign, our giving campaign this year, because we are really trying to involve everyone else on Guam in all of the giving. So we're doing Giving Tuesday every Tuesday. Our workforce has actually voted for their top 5 causes and organizations. And we will be supporting those top 5 during our campaign.
Can you give us a hint of what those 5 might be?
Yeah, so right now we are supporting Erica's House. Next week we will be supporting Special Olympics, Make-A-Wish Foundation, Rainbows for All Children, and then we will be supporting Guam Animals in Need game.
Very, very nice. Of course, these of course being organizations, nonprofit charities that you know, I mean, it's hard to run that kind of organization. There's a lot of need for each and every one of those 5. It takes a lot of money and a lot of sweat equity and elbow grease to get these things going. So thanks to you guys for helping giving them a push.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, personally, I have some experience working in nonprofit. It is such a gratifying job, but they really do need our support. So I'm really glad that GTA is supporting these organizations. They believe in just beyond being a good company on Guam. We want to be a company that does good. Mm-hmm. So we're very proud and very happy about this opportunity.
And it's also worth mentioning, this isn't just, you know, like some outlier, like, you know, like little community service initiative you're doing. GTA has a long and well-established history of, helping getting young women into programming. You've had that, like getting young people and people that wouldn't normally get involved in computer science like that. You guys give, constantly, you guys do in-kind trades, and you guys cut checks for all sorts of, worthy recipients around the island.
Yes, absolutely. And, here at GTA, because it's such a big part of our corporate culture, that we have a department who is just who's dedicated to just the charitable giving, to organizing these kinds of campaigns. So you can really tell, because there are people employed to do this type of work. It's not just a please do this when you have time type of task. It's a priority for GTA. So
it's a dedicated team.
It is, yeah.
And of course, you're doing this, and as a good corporate citizen on the island and everything like that. But it's not all about, hey, look at us, look what we're doing and everything like that. Check us out, check it out. How cool we are. You guys are doing this to inspire others in the community, from your fellow business partners all the way down to the individual.
Yes, absolutely. We believe, I'll give a shout out to Joe Koam, who I got this quote from. He likes to say, high tides raise all boats.
Yep.
So we believe that if we can be the tide that kind of just raises the quality of life for the entire island, everyone, even businesses, will thrive.
Mm-hmm. So how exactly will you be helping out those five charities that you mentioned?
So right now, we're calling it every Tuesday, Giving Tuesday every Tuesday, because every Tuesday we are going to announce a new organization to support. So this past Tuesday was Giving Tuesday, and we announced Erica's House as the first organization. So this entire week, you can go to GTA and make a $5 donation, and GTA will match it. So we're giving double the amount of your donation. And every time you donate, you are also entered to win a new iPhone 13.
Wow.
Yes. Every week we will have this. So right now, you can make a donation and it'll support Erica's House, very valuable organization. And next week you can donate again, and it'll support Special Olympics and Make-A-Wish and Rainbows for All Children after that, and then GAIN after that. So. And we will be giving an iPhone every week.
Very nice. So again, money makes the world go round. That's just the nature of the world we live in and everything like that. And these organizations, are going to be better off that you're allowing them to increase their manpower, their head count, pay their bills, continue their operations, everything, because they really are, like the fabric of who we are as the island community.
Completely agree. I think that nonprofits do very important work. They really elevate the quality of living for the people who really need it. Very focused work. I really love all of their missions.
Mm-hmm. Well, and for those of you who think a little bit, logically and everything like that, here's a chance where you can actually help out a really good organization, and you could actually score an iPhone for $5.
Yeah. So
put it in those terms.
Really great. GTA is going to double your donation. We're going to match any donation up to $2,500 for each organization, and you get entered to win an iPhone 13. I think it's a win-win-win for everyone.
Outstanding. Okay, so Marian, any final thoughts you'd like to share?
I would just really like to wish everyone a happy holidays. I hope that everyone kind of just finds it in their heart also to do some giving this holiday season, do some, volunteer work. There's so many different ways to give, do some donations, just help out. I think, especially from what we've seen this past Giving Tuesday, every little bit of good can just make a big difference.
That's absolutely beautifully said. So thank you, Mariana, and all of our friends at GTA for taking care of our community with this. It's a wonderful program.
Thank you so much for having me.
And one that we hope spreads like wildfire throughout the rest of the island. So
I hope so.
Good on you guys for taking the lead.
Thank you so much.
All right. Merry Christmas. And please stay tuned, everybody, because when the link continues, we're giving away one more prize. And then remember, we've got Congressman Nicholas's press conference coming up at 10 a.m. Stay tuned.
Make it through the week with Monday's Work Week Weather Forecast.
Off a day. My name is Michelle Kennedy Perez here at GTA. I'm the Community Relations Manager. This Giving Tuesday, up until the end of the year, we are supporting 5 local nonprofit organizations to include Erica's House, Make-A-Wish Foundation, Special Olympics, Guam Animals in Need, and Rainbows for All Children. Donate $5 and GTA will match it this year. Also get a chance to win an iPhone 13 on us every single week. Visit our stores for more information, and happy Giving Tuesday, everybody!
KUAM's multi-platform morning show, The Link, just got a little more delicious with Feed Me Fridays. Chris, Sabrina, Jason, and the rest of the morning crew will take some time off each Friday to talk, taste, and tempt you with all the latest and greatest food and drinks on Guam, old faves, new hits, and everything else we can put in our bellies. It's Feed Me Fridays on The Link, brought to you by King's Restaurants, Ruby Tuesday Guam, and Devondale. Real milk from free grazing cows. Catch Sports Link on the KUAM News Morning Show, The Link, every Friday for the latest sports news, game schedules, athlete profiles, and more. Sports Link airs every Friday across the multi-platforms of KUAM. Tune in to the broadcast on Breeze 93.9 FM, on KUAM TV 11, live stream through the KUAM News Facebook page, or view highlights on YouTube, KUAM News Facebook, and Instagram page. Sports Link is brought to you by Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape.
Get ready to run or ride to 22 with the Miles Challenge. Join the challenge from now till January 31st to rack up those miles on foot or by cycling. Runners can choose from 100, 200, and 300 miles. Cyclists 300, 600, and 900 miles. Go to mileschallenge.com to select your challenge and register today. The Run and Ride to 22 Challenge is brought to you by Uproar, Trench Challenge, Kill Cliff, and KUAM Communications. Donation proceeds to benefit the EMC Cancer Foundation. Guam is good.
Chris and Sabrina at 637-0094 on Breeze 93.9 FM.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas, and that's how we wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas, and that's how we. What's up, Guam? We're loving up today, and we're coming to you live from 94. Merry Christmas, Guam. Yeah, and a dance on New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. And that's all. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Good morning.
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Who do you count on in life? We want to know. And why? 671-637-0094, guys. Call now. We got a great prize package for you, courtesy Cowboys Insurance. Okay? So call now. In the meantime, let's knock out Cover Me from our friends over at Burger King, guys, where you can, of course, get Whopper Wednesday. It's back for the month of December, just in time for the holidays. Wednesdays at Burger King. Get you a Whopper and say, I love, love, love the Whopper, and they're going to give you another one just like that. It's Cover Me here this morning with Candyman and a little Christmas selection. Remember, 671-637-0094 to win our Cowboys Insurance contest right here on the link. Good morning.
What's it off of day, Guam? Merry Christmas all the way from Sandy Springs, Georgia. Hope you guys are feeling all right, doing all right out there. A few years ago, Malfunction asked me to cover this song, and I don't know why it's taking so long, but I'm going to do this one. It's by Alan Jackson. I think the original is John Denver, but well, now I'm singing it today. Hope you guys like. Christmas. I don't want to see my mama cry. Please, Daddy, don't get drunk this Christmas. I don't want to see my mama cry. Just last year, when I was only 7, now I'm almost 8, as you can see. You came in 11:15, fell down underneath our Christmas tree. Please, Daddy, don't get drunk this Christmas. I don't want to see my mama cry. Please, Daddy, don't get drunk this Christmas. I don't want to see my mama cry.
Alan Jackson, as covered by Candyman here. It's called Cover Me, and we play covers during it. So that's why it's called Cover Me, brought to you by Burger King. That was a great one. 950, count on us for life with Cowell's Insurance. Let's go to the phone, 671-637-0094. Looking for a winner. Good morning. What's your name?
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
My name is Julie.
Hi, Julie. How are you today?
I'm okay.
You okay? Well, hopefully you're going to be doing a lot better because you were our winner. We just need you to tell us, who do you count on in life and why?
I count on my grandson, Caleb Ariola. The reason why, he's always there for me since my husband passed away this year. He does everything for me. Anything I ask him is done. He's a 9th grader, and now ever since my husband's gone, I don't really cook anymore, so he does my cooking. Everything I ask for, he does it. And he sleeps with me. My husband is melted, Dwayne.
Tauta in Aloha, no?
Yes.
Well, ma'am, that's so touching, really.
Yeah.
So your grandson's someone you can count on for life. A 9th grader, right? So he's had to grow up pretty quick with the passing of...
Yes.
Right?
He does a lot. He learned a lot. And thank God, thank you to my husband for training him on what to do. Now he's very good.
Wow.
I try not to cry because I'm thinking of him.
Are you okay, ma'am?
Yes, that's okay.
Are you ready to talk about your plans for Christmas?
My kids are always there for me, so I know be sad this year because it will be my first Christmas without him.
Right.
And our anniversary is New Year's Eve.
So this is going to be it's going to be a tough time for you, but your grandson and your boys are going to be there for you during this holiday season. So I think you're going to make it out okay.
Oh, yes. I'm good. Times I'm down.
Well, you know what? We're going to pick you up because you're our winner for today, okay?
Thank you very much.
We got some great prizes for you. We got a gift certificate from Ignite Juice Bar. They got some great juices there, as well as $25 in gas from Shell. They got the good gas over there, okay?
Thank you very much, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too. Viva Santa Maria Carmelin. Viva San Jose!
Viva.
Hold the line, ma'am, and we'll get all your information. And congratulations. It's 9:53. This has been another great episode of the Jason Solis Show. Proudly brought to you by Pacific Points, Cowboy Enterprises, ITN, and Jack in the Box. Good job today, Bree. Right on. Everyone's busy. There's a lot going on. My name's Chris. Oh.
I'm Sabrina.
Thank you, Sabrina. Guys, we're jumping on the congressman's having a press conference in just a few moments. It's going to be on the K-Wave News Facebook page.
So Congressman St. Nicholas will be on our timeline in about 8 minutes. And then if you're interested in the latest data about public health, that agency is also going to have something that's at 10:30. We're going to share that.
Yeah.
And we got some other stuff coming up too.
Yeah, it's very busy. Okay, so 9:54. Let's go ahead and get off this timeline here. This has been another episode of The Link. My name is Chris. That's Sabrina.
Yeah.
Okay,
thanks.
okay. All right, bye.
Learn about people and organizations making a difference in our community.